Angela Tappan, District A.
Here.
Mr. Henry Doty, District B.
Here.
Mr. James Green, District C.
Here.
Mr. Derek Green, District D.
Present.
Mr. Howard Love, District E.
Here.
All five are present, we have four.
We stand for the invocation, please. Councilman Doty, would you lead us in prayer?
Lord God, we thank you for another day that you've given us. We thank you for your wisdom, your majesty. We thank you for the wisdom and knowledge that you will instill on us and in us, that we may be able to do the business of the city of Bastrop. Lord, we just thank you for everything that you've done. And we ask that you guide our hearts, guide our minds, and guide our souls into doing the right thing. In Jesus' name we pray, amen.
Amen. Salute, pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Do we have any modification for the agenda?
Yes, one. We would like to expand the agenda to address and discuss rolling taxes forward.
All right.
Also too, I'm trying to expand the agenda. I have, Devin told me to expand the agenda when I talked to him. 350 Jefferson Street, Noble Christian Counseling Center. They have a home there. It was one of the department go have with them to tear down before May 5th. But they got the contractors. He's gonna charge $3,500. So I want to expand the agenda to talk about it.
All right, maybe you got two. Any other requests by any other council? Madam Pro Tem's request will be, if approved, will be under 14 and will be item A. Madam Pro Tem has made a motion to expand the agenda to add item 14A to the agenda in regards to a discussion in regards to rolling forward the ad valorem millage rates. Yes, second. This needs unanimous consent. May I ask for a roll call vote?
Okay, please get a roll call vote, please.
Ms. Tappan,
Yes.
Mr. Doty,
Yes.
Mr. James Green,
Yes.
Mr. Derek Green,
Yes.
Mr. Locke.
Yes.
All right, Mayor, item 14A has been added to the agenda. Councilman D. Green has made a request to expand the agenda item, adding, this would more likely go under,
What was yours, Councilman? It's gonna be B, 14B.
yeah, it'd be 14B.
Let's see, yeah.
And that is to, you requesting to add, to seek approval for CA.
Right.
Do you have all the terms in particular? You want to articulate them, I guess?
Yeah, I want to do it now. Or you
Yeah,
want to
so the council know whether or not to.
Yeah, so the agreement is for $3,500 from, she have a contractor by the name of Erdil. So she purchased the house to have a place for the homeless, but when they enter in the home, there's no way to build it. So the best thing to do is to tear it down.
So this is CEA for $3,500.
Well, no, we gonna have, so she, yeah.
So.
What's the address?
350 Jefferson Avenue. It's right when you come into the city, it's right, I think, right next to the sign, then everybody knows May 5th, the pink sign coming into it from.
Okay. Yeah.
So that's $1,700.
Right.
$50
Right.
for CEA to, for 350 Jefferson.
Right.
And the parties to the CEA would be.
Noble Christian Counseling Center.
All right.
You gotta make a motion to expand it.
Right. For that, yeah.
I make a motion.
Second.
All right, it's been moved and second to add to 14B for the CEA on 350 Jefferson. May I ask for a roll call vote?
Please get a roll call vote on that, Ms. Hall.
Ms. Tappan,
Yes.
Mr. Doty,
Yes.
Mr. James Green,
Yes.
Mr. Gary Green,
Yes.
Mr. Locke.
Yes.
Point of information, Chairman. We're gonna discuss it when we get to it.
Right, I was just trying to get the particulars to put in for the minutes, so we can have the agenda item spelled out.
Mr. Mayor.
So, Mayor, you have now 14B, which is CEA for 350 Jefferson, in the amount of $1,750. And that's out of Councilman D. Green's budget. All right. Any other members got any other amendments, additions to the agenda?
Mr. Ricky, we need to make sure we allow, now that we've added these to the agenda for public comments on those, two as
Right.
well.
It will be, this announcement. All right. Any others? All right, Mayor, you can move forward with the agenda and public comments.
That's gonna be, that's gonna be number 5.
Oh, yeah, announcement, sorry.
Announcement and recognition by the mayor and council. We do have, Love of the Boot cleanup. Keep Wild Beautiful. We'll be doing it on the 20, what the date is on there? Anybody? Late April, 23rd, I think, 23rd, 24th, 25th. And we'll do it that Saturday ourselves also. We also trying to get bids out on the building, on the square by Capital One that has fallen. It's a process, and we are taking bids, so if you all know anybody that can do it, tell them to send us a bid. If we don't have it cleaned up by then, we will barricade it in, so nobody would not be able to get in it. This administration is working to make the whole city and whatever we can do, make it better for everybody, not just one day. I just want to make sure we do, I say that. And I'm proud of our administration on the court days we just did and how that turned out. Proud of all the workers that was involved, city councilmen, just everybody, the attorneys, everybody that's in the whole.
I'm here on behalf of the historic.
Yeah, come
I just didn't know if it needed to be under public comments or if I needed to wait.
It's like an announcement from the district.
Can't talk out of that's what you call it. It's still can't.
Good evening, Mayor and City Council members. Thank you. I'm Susan Flonix, member.
Go with, go comment?
No, we're not.
Oh, we're not,
What's next?
not yet, we're just still doing
We
announcements.
come as soon as, the next one up 5.
Let me say this too. Can we, do we have an assessment on this other building over here by the post office? Do we have one on file or can come?
That's not,
No, this is an announcement.
that's not a announcement.
You got to speak up, Chairman.
That's not a council, that's not on the, we text me that, we'll get on it.
I have a announcement on the agenda.
Uh,
Just past Sunday, we held our annual Easter egg hunt. We had over 5,000 eggs, probably gave away, I think it was 8 bicycles and probably over 200 prizes. But also with this Easter egg hunt, we also have a chance to recognize people that's doing well in the community. So this year we had the opportunity to honor Mr. James Green. We did Miss Angela was last year. So each year we try to just give recognition and give people their flowers while we can. So just be patient. I'm gonna make my rounds to everybody that's doing well. So I just want to say kudos to Carlos McKinley, Team Edmonds, and Jerome Matthews for doing a well job.
I have an announcement.
Yes.
Okay, I just.
Go ahead,
Okay, and we just want to say we're proud of Mr. Derry D.D. Green for sponsoring this for the children. It's always good to see somebody taking initiative to create events for children to do. I know the kids always have a great time when they sponsor this, and I know it's in memory of
Dallas Armstrong.
Dallas Armstrong. So it has a dual meaning, but we want to thank Mr. D.D. Green and whoever else is helping him, Mr. Carlos McKinney, all those young guys who are, take their time and effort to put this great event together. Just want to say thank you.
Thank you.
I also got
Jay Green.
I just want to thank Councilman Green and his organization for the award. You know, I'm grateful and honored to receive the award.
Thank you. Anybody else? All right, we'll move to number 5, public comment as it relates to the matter on the agenda. Anybody got anything to say?
Sorry.
Come on.
So I want to thank y'all for the opportunity to speak tonight.
Name,
I'm Susan Flonix. I'm a resident of the city of Ashford,
address, name.
2204 East Madison. I'm a member of the Historic District Commission, and that's who I'm here representing tonight.
Okay.
We are coming before y'all regarding a matter of urgent public safety. And as you just mentioned, Mayor, but I'm gonna go ahead and get this on record, it's okay. We have an urgent public safety need, one that affects not only our residents, but many of the visitors who will soon be coming into our city. On Franklin Street in the heart of historic downtown Bastrop, we have a burned out structure that remains exposed and unsecured. As it stands today, it presents a clear and ongoing safety hazard. The condition of the site creates
What item on here you speaking on?
the Historic District Commission
It's not on the agenda to speak on.
on number 7.
Yeah.
Are you representative from the board?
Okay.
Oh,
Oh, you got to wait
You
till
got
the
to
time.
wait to that.
You almost got away with that one.
Y'all just don't want to hear from me, but let me tell you what, I'm a big girl, I'm loud.
We almost there. Yeah.
Any other public comment in regards to anything on the item on the agenda?
The key word on the matter, Chair, is on the agenda. So we gotta stay with the,
Anybody else got anything to say?
Mr. Chair. I was thinking about Ms. Angela.
How you doing? Charles Bradford, 1320 South Washington Street. I may be connected here with Ms. Hewlett. It's a historical district. We're talking about the same property. Is this the right time or is this the right time
For him
to make a comment? I mean, I don't know. I know she's on the
Public
board.
comment. Will you comment on it?
Okay, I just want to just come in briefly about the historical district, and we're all talking about the same thing, the property there on Franklin Street there. I just wonder, being part of the historical district, is there any funding available? Our government looking at any type of funding available, had a particular location demolited, removed on behalf of the city? I know we got policy and procedure we have to follow, but it's been like this for 6 years. Have we applied for any type of funding for historical district to help demolish those type of structures that we have in our historical district area? That was one of my concerns. Are we looking at any type of funding? I know it takes funding to do almost anything. And I just wonder, the historical district people who are here, the board members here, and I just want to have the city combined with the historical district on looking into some type of state or federal funding. I know it deal with FAFSA and different, it's a private project. And I just wonder how we combine together with the district, since, we have several around, but we definitely concerned about the one on Franklin Street. One just falling in the street like that. We got the post office like Mr. Doty just said. Are you working together on any type of, trying to receive any type of funding to take care of these SOIs in the community? That's what my comment. Maybe that's something you should consider with the historical district in the city and keep no outreach. We got several agencies, but it's been like that for 6 years. Thank you.
Any more public comments at this time? Okay. We'll move to 6. Consider approval of previous minute, regular meeting 3/12/2026 and special meeting 3/26/26.
And Mayor, that item requires no action unless there's an objection to consent approval of those minutes. Is there any objection to consent approval of those minutes? Seeing none, Mayor, we move on.
Thank you. We'll move to number 7, consideration of any action report of committee appointed of government body, a finance committee report. Councilman James Green.
I think, before we approve those, we had a finance, meeting, we ran over, so we was gonna finish discussing it at the open meeting, at our city council meeting. And I think councilmen have concerns about certain aspects of the agenda, of the budget. Because this is a finance report, so we're gonna be asked to amend the budget, but we have a few questions about the finance report. One of them has been a couple of departments is over budgeted, well, have exceeded their budget or projected to exceed their budget. I just want to ask, is there any mechanisms that have been put in place to ensure that at the end of the year that they will not exceed their budget? And if not, I got a recommendation that I want to make as chairman. I think that since when we do the budget, it's for the whole year. It's broken up in quarters. I think as a recommendation, I think that we should put hard caps on each quarter. I think we should approve the budget up to a certain point, and we should only allocate certain departments a certain amount of money. You break it up in the 4 quarters. Therefore, when it comes out, we'll see where we at, because right now, if we continue, it's not everybody, and we're not in a deficit. But when you look at certain departments, when you're over budgeted by about 50% and close to 70% up to date, then it's going to be projected as a problem. So my recommendation would be to have a report every quarter, and if you're going to exceed and you establish guidelines as to how much budgeted for that quarter, and when they get close to that budget, they need to reach out to the cap. They need to speak to the mayor and come back before the council. Because as you alluded to earlier, Mr. Ricky, Mr. Smith, you said that, well, they still got time to catch up, but what if they don't? Then you're gonna go in the general fund. But that was not, a budget means something. That means you, as a department head, have to be confined, and you have to exercise restraint when you get close to your budget numbers. You just can't exceed your budget. And that's what I have a problem with right now. I don't want to bash anyone, but I'm just saying, as a councilman, as chairman, I want to make a recommendation going forward as to next year, that we put a hard cap each quarter. And when you get close to exceeding that limit for quarters, right now we don't have anything for quarters. We just got something for the whole year. So technically nobody's over budgeted. I mean, it's exceeding their budget technically, but in reality, when you break it down as to the way Mr. Smith had it broken down and we looked over it, you projected to exceed the budget. So I just want to make sure that we don't create a problem for ourselves.
We understand that, Councilman Green, but also the way we just handled a budget.
Excuse me.
No, excuse me. Let me get it out and you talk when I get there. We was handed a budget. All of us was handed a budget upside down. We didn't have no exchange. We didn't know anything about it. I understand what you're saying. You are correct. But just give us a chance. We got this year behind us, and we're gonna do exactly that, probably what you're saying, but I just want everybody to know that we had a budget that, I didn't get one when I came in. We didn't receive one. We received one, but we just had to put together some numbers.
Point of information. I'm the refer, I know what you're gonna say. Mayor, I'm finna, let me finish what I was saying. Since, you know, you got a legislative branch and executive branch, right? So I'm speaking from legislative branch. And I'm telling you right now, it's different between expenditures and revenues. It's a big difference. The revenues and expenditures. Revenues, what you get, expenditures, what you're spending out. I'm talking about what's being spent. I'm not talking about the general fund. I'm looking at the breakdown. It's my responsibility to look at the breakdown of the budget. And it has nothing to do, our revenues is set, pretty much. We may get some in, but that don't adversely affect, and that don't affect the expenditures. Expenditures is what you spend. And I'm looking at you spending too much versus to what we allow for that department. So it has nothing to do with you, none of that. I'm looking at numbers. And if you break them down, you're going too fast, too early, if that makes sense.
I have a question, Rick, because I'm trying to get understanding the budget. Is this third quarter amended?
Yeah.
These are third quarter
minute.
And again, for the record, Rick Still, the office of the mayor. We do have agenda item directly for, that addresses the budget, because the council's gonna take action, or we ask the council to take action. It's still germane in this area, so we can get into it, you know, in this area and spend less time when we actually get to it. It's just, this is your meeting, however you want to discuss it, we can. But,
I guess I'm trying to understand how you, just take internet expense. You say year to date, 9,300 as of February 26th.
right.
Then you got to the right amended budget, 14,000. So
When you look at the budget, because that's what I'm saying, column, you talk about column E versus column D.
yeah, so
Column E is what the current budget is. That was the last time it was amended. The column D is the snapshot of what was expended right now. We 3452, which the target baseline will be 65% expended. That's what you kind of look when you do reference. So that's what, and you compare that to what the third quarter amended, which is in G and G.
With the projected.
What the projected is at the current base.
because if you look at actuals now and actually what was budgeted at this moment, we're not over budget.
We're not from an overall standpoint.
I'm just for this one particular line, that's what I'm trying to get an understanding.
Would you like to tell me what page and line?
Page 236.
Yeah, see,
You get what I'm saying?
yeah, it's within stakes. I understand totally what you're saying. And
Yeah.
Because
So,
what
yeah.
confused me is when you had,
It's projected on now, then it's gonna be over budget.
just like now, the general fund.
And that's just a projection.
See, the general fund is bringing another point that I want to address with you. Was the money that promised, you know, that's outstanding,
Mm-hmm.
that we know that's coming is outstanding. I would like for us to, and you told us in our meeting, you said that when you do the budget, you add it, but then when I asked you earlier, when was the appropriation date? When did it originate, right? You said before this administration.
Correct.
So when it's about the third, it's going into the fourth quarter.
Correct.
I'm saying, so if we allocated, we budget this, put it in our budget, we have it in our general fund.
Correct.
Follow me on this now. We put it in our general fund. So we expecting 1.4 million, that's outstanding. That
1.5, yeah.
1.5, 1.4. But that's promised. It's not set in stone. It should be in there, but you got it in here, right? Oh, follow me. You got it in here. So what I'm saying is, you may or may not get that 1.5. Therefore, it's vital that everybody stays within their budget, because you may be $1.5 million short of what you thought you was gonna have in the general fund. That's all I'm saying. I'm not, and Mr. Chairman, those numbers come from your budget, Paul. I meant your list of What's your title?
Yeah, I know what they're doing.
Budget director. He gave us those
I
numbers.
know what they're doing.
So those are not fabricated numbers. I'm just trying to prevent a problem that I could see in the future. Because you got money that you think, but when I asked him, when are we supposed to have it? One of them we supposed to have it last year. So if you didn't get it last year, and they were 4 months left in this year, what if you don't get it?
It wasn't filed correctly.
That's irrelevant. What I'm saying is, it does not matter how was it filed or whatever. The money is not in our account.
Correct.
That's what I'm saying.
We got 118,000 today out of it. We filed yesterday.
Right.
We got to-
But your points are valid and they are, that's the reason why I pointed it out on my cover. Because again, if we don't get that money, we have to reduce the budget by 39%.
But if everybody stays inside that cap that, Mr. Green is talking about, I think that would help the budget tremendously.
Because you would not even get close to that 1.4. I done looked at the budget.
Yeah,
I'm telling you.
I'm not disagreeing with anything that you're saying. I'm just saying.
But what if everybody just exceeds their budget, then you go over, what we gonna do when everybody exceeds their budget? And then you go past that 1.4, we don't get it.
Well, we
We're in
would,
the deficit then.
right, but we would have caught that long before.
Well, we would have caught a lot of stuff. What I'm saying is, let's just make sure that we set parameters and we stay within our guidelines.
And we are, and that's the reason why we're doing quarterly budget adjustments, because if you look at the overall number, you go to the end of the page, you look at the percentage expended, it says 64 point some odd percentage. So we right on pace, regardless of those outliers, which those are important, Mr. Green. I'm not disputing nothing that you're saying, because you're spot on. But from an overall budget standpoint, we right where we want to be. And I pointed out those issues of that 1.5, because that concerns me as well as it concerns you, because if we don't get it, you know what we're gonna have to start doing?
Cuts.
39%, we're gonna have to start reducing the budget by 39% for the last 3 months of the year. But the good thing about it, like the mayor indicated, a lot of those collections were based on errors made. That, for instance, when you go to the budget, you go to the cover page, about a little less than $1 million comes from reimbursements. So that's money that's due to us that we want to collect this fiscal year, because if we don't, we're gonna have a problem. But the fact that when we resubmitted that Friday, we got a chunk of that, was it today or yesterday? Today. So it's just one of those things that we having technical difficulty with uploading, because I've been assured from talking to Jeff that money is there. It's there waiting on us. We just got to submit the paperwork. Now, why it hadn't been submitted prior to this administration, even though there was a hiccup that was caught, I don't know. I just know when we got it and we submitted it, the first time we did it, we got a bulk of that, and we're working on this other batch. And that should be forthcoming, because it's less than a week turnaround. So I'm anticipating the same thing when we resubmit this big chunk. Now, the only other question that remains that are outstanding is that Hurricane Laura money. And we got steps to take that in consideration, but that's a far cry from having to reduce the budget by $1.5 million. That's in the budget. But again, we inherited this budget, we trimmed it, but we still inherited the bones of it. So, and we really didn't touch a lot of the outline numbers when it comes to revenue projection. That's the revenue projection that the previous administration made. We didn't have a transition. We came in day one, we had to adopt it. We trimmed it because the mayor wanted to balance the budget, and we trimmed it. And we have been exercising restraints on spending. That's why we're on pace. Outside of those two outliers, we on pace to stay within that budget because of the things that we've been doing, because we've been looking at the quarter. So, and we're getting more efficient at it. And we're gonna have, matter of fact, I'm gonna be able to do it once a month now by going through this process the first 8 months of this administration. And I got to the point where I'm more efficient with collecting the data, so I can get with the department heads and say, hey, you're on track to do this. Tell me, what you need for this quarter, because
your spending is almost tapped out for the quarter. I'll give you an example. When we met with the guy at the airport, mayor, I can't think his name.
Somebody in here?
No, the airport. Brett. We discussed his budget, and one of the things that he was over budget was in his control was purchase of fuel. So I looked at the budget and I said, well, listen, if the council approved the budget, you only have $18,000 to spend on fuel the next time. He buys fuel 3 times a year. So those kind of spending constraints that we have in each quarter. So whenever departments need to purchase things, we look at, okay, you spent this for this quarter, you need to stay below this number. And then we'll look at it again each quarter. So those spending mechanisms or constraints are in place. We just rolling them out in a better, more efficient way.
Councilman Doty?
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Let me see if I can wrap my head around it. There's a lot of information just went out.
Mhm.
Our XGLP one program sends a loan notification.
That wouldn't be, sorry about that. The point Councilman Green was making, his first point, which I think was spot on. I think all he was suggesting was that we every quarter you get a breakdown, and that way you can identify once you get closer to that marker, whatever it might be, then we can take the corrective action, whatever that may entail. So that shouldn't be a contentious point right there, right?
Yes, sir.
Right, that shouldn't be a contentious point. The next thing is those 2 line items that were out of spec, that were over, say for instance over budget. If I can say that right now, it's good that the entire budget, the overall budget, is within specs. That's a great thing. But again, if you don't have anything in place, what happens? Let's say right now we have 2. You might go into 3 or 4 by the end of the year.
I got you.
Just an example.
No, what I'm saying is that's what we're doing. That's the reason why outside of those 2 areas, right, we're within target because of those things. We're going to roll out even more ways to be more efficient. It's just the first quarter of the year, we're trying to figure out what's what. Because again, we've had the conversation in the past about what I call these zombie bills. And the reason why the airport, for the most part, is out of whack is because the bills that should have been paid last fiscal year got paid this fiscal year for whatever reasons are unknown to us. But most of those have worked its way through the system, and we fortunately have been able to absorb those and not throw us out of a situation where we having to, do panic, do emergency things with the budget. So we're doing those things.
Right.
And so why those things are outliers, those things happen, and mainly out of our control, especially when it comes to the airport. But again, the other control restraints that we have in place is the reason why, in spite of that, we're still in target range because of those things. So I can assure you, we are doing those things. Those things just kind of happen to slip through the cracks, but we're doing a quarterly budget review. I just missed the mid-year because the numbers were off. I got the first one. We did a first quarter budget adjustment like we did before, and now we're doing a third quarter, and then we're gonna do one at the end of the year. Right. So moving forward, we're gonna be able to do a quarterly review.
Let me say this: this is not about chastising or anything like that. It's just about making a point and kind of trying to go where we can understand it ourselves a little bit better. Again, if you now I've heard this a few times that we're still paying things from the other fiscal year, and to me that kind of seems, I don't want to say strange, but we've got a few items that have come through that has that we're saying that should have been paid last fiscal year, but now we're paying. So how do you identify those things, or can they be identified that whatever should have been paid last fiscal year, you know, we're 9 months into the new administration. How can we recognize those things that should have been paid fiscal year? Is somebody in each department working to to find those things, or is it just a happenstance when they come up?
It's just a happenstance. Most of those are tied to capital outlay project and these grant funded projects, which those are the reasons that $1.5 million. That's all, not all, because about maybe 100,000 that is just monies that we are owed from like the police jury, because I think it's 30,000 from that and 70,000 respective that we get from the police jury. But the lion's share of that is coming from reimbursements from grants for projects. So those things, for whatever reason, again, I can't speak to, I wasn't in that administration, so I don't know how they organized and paid bills. But when you catch a bill that's paid, that predates a bill that was paid in the previous year, but wasn't paid in that year, but it paid in the following year, it's just, you scratch your head like, how did that happen? I don't know. I just know we inherited that, and we just, we can't complain about it, but I guess we can address it, but it still got to be paid.
Right.
And fortunately, through some of the control measures that the mayor put in place, we're able to absorb those. In spite of that, I want to say maybe technical error in regards to the submission of the invoice and the payment of the invoice. So,
One last thing, Mr. Mayor. When we have things like the budget, that numbers that we're looking at, if there is any type of, especially a significant change where something like that may come through, can we, because, I started to look at a lot of numbers and they start to run together. Can we put those changes in bold print so they'll be easily identifiable? Because again, you're looking at a lot of small numbers, and they are all important. So again, if we have that change, can we put those numbers in bold so they can be easily identified?
oh, well, yeah, I kind of summarized it in general on that cover sheet.
Right.
Yeah, but I can itemize that, but that's the purpose of the cover sheet, to point out, here are the problems. This is the money that we are due. This is the amount, and these are the columns. I did itemize that, and I pointed out the two departments that had the issue.
Right.
And I guess I could have highlighted that, but when I identified the underlying thing, it draws your attention to those particular programs, so you don't have to go through the whole budget, because the overall budget is still within specs, but those are the two. So from a macro sense, I'm going to do that, as opposed to, I'm trying to keep the number of pages kind of small. So it was my intent to draw your attention to that, so you can, okay, let me go to this and look at it. But if you want more detail, I can, itemize that even further.
What you're doing is fine. I'm just saying, when you put the numbers in on the budget itself, and we flip from page to page, anytime especially when you have a significant change, can you put that print in bold? You know what I'm saying? Darker.
Just on the page. Okay.
Yeah. I know it's on the front page, but when I go back when I go inside the budget itself, I'd like to know, instead of flipping back to the front page, I'd like for it to be identified on the actual budget itself.
Okay. I can do that, and I can also put the line and page number next to it and like the reference.
I just got a small confirmation.
Oh, my God. I gotta go to Councilman Locke.
I'd like to see it still working. It's all new.
Okay. Appreciate it, Mr. Locke. Councilman Green?
Point of information
Jay Green?
from Ms. Smith.
Mhm.
And, Mr. Chairman, the reason that I was inquiring about those hard caps, I was inquiring about when I'm looking at the budget. Because you gotta remember, this administration is coming and asked us to make some amendments and some adjustments to the budget. Am I right, Mr. Lee?
Yeah, for the third quarter.
For the third quarter.
Mhm.
So I gotta ask questions when you ask me to make an amendment, when you ask the council to make some amendments and some adjustments, and then I'm looking at the numbers and they're not matching up. I understand that the general fund is balancing out. We just had questions. Nobody was chastising nobody. But I'm saying, if you're gonna ask me to ask this council to make some adjustment this mid-year, for the third quarter, you want us to make some adjustments so it come out right. So that's the only reason I was asking these questions. Because I'm asking questions because you want us to pass this, right? I mean, you bring it before the council to pass. So when I look at numbers, and some of them is out of whack, and then I see something that the last administration, you alluded to, that they had the money budgeted in, but they never got it. So therefore, whatever that they budgeted in, they were short of that amount, right? And they carried over to this year.
Correct.
So we trying to prevent that from continuously happening. So you can't keep doing the same thing over and over, and you see something that's broke, you fix it, right? So it's not being chastised. We are trying to come up with a comprehensive plan to ensure that this does not keep happening over and over. Because when you see something that's over budgeted and you look at the general fund and you in budget, but then you have money that's outstanding, that's promised to the city, and we don't have it. And then you got some like the airport, they over, and we supposed to be reimbursed. Because I can remember when we was owed $1 million by the airport and nobody caught it for about a year or two. You understand where I'm going? We was owed $1 million, not you there, but it was gonna roll over again. So we was owed it and nobody caught it. So it's not fussing, it's just that we gotta be good stewards of the city money because you don't wanna be put in a bind. So if I offended somebody, I'm sorry, but I'm really not when it comes to the budget.
Councilman Green, I wasn't offended. I mean, I thought those questions were appropriate. That's why I highlighted it on my cover page, because we're not running from it. And again, we're gonna get into budget talks for next fiscal year. And like I alluded to last finance meeting, that the budget that we're gonna propose is gonna have no one-time money in it. So this is gonna alleviate that, and then as we get one-time money, we're gonna do a whole separate appropriation for it. And then that way those dollars are tied to one-time projects, so we won't have this issue to where you got one-time money paying for recurring expenses. So that's definitely something that the mayor's has stressed in our discussions in budget development, and that he wants to continue and propose a balanced budget with no one-time money in it. And if you look at the cover page at the bottom, not at the bottom, the last page of the revenue, I put in there what, after discussions with the mayor, what we're going to propose as the estimated revenue for next fiscal year is going to be about probably about $1 million less. It's going to be 13.3, and again, that's not going to have any one-time money appropriations in it.
Councilman Tappan.
Yeah, I'm just kind of staying off of what Councilman Green said. What this council wants to avoid is having any type of mass panic, having to do mass cuts. When you run any business off of anticipated funds that you may or may not get, we want to get this money. We hope we get this money. But the way the government is being ran now, you don't know when the next shutdown will be. So you don't know if we actually gonna get this money. So you cannot run a business on money that you may not get. And that's the situation that we do not want the city of Bastrop in. I hope we get all that 1.4 million, but what if we don't? You have to operate like you don't have it, and we do not have it. So we have to be smart in our spending, in the way we're handling our funds. Like I said, I hope we get it, but what if we don't? So you can't pad your numbers, and that's what it is. You're padding your numbers because it's anticipated. It's not real. It's not reality yet. So that's my big concern. Let us be smart at whatever we're doing, because that's the last thing I would want to do, is have to do mass cuts.
And Councilman Tappan, we are being very smart. We're working on a very low employee right now. We did major cuts with we haven't did cuts, but we don't have the number of employees we supposed to have. We had 8 taken by a private prisoner. We just barely running, but we getting a lot done with the small amount of employees we got, and stuff was broken when we got here. We got to get that fixed. We got to get everybody complaining about potholes. We got to go. We only doing things that we got to do, not what we want to do right now, but we got to do. And we are working on a very low end with the city. When I say the bottom of the barrel is what we was hanging to, what we was left to, and trust and believe me. In the next fiscal year, was next year coming in 3 months, with 1 year into this thing, and we be able to do our own budget. As Mr. Smith was saying, we're gonna put money like that to the side. One-time money we won't have this problem again. But I'm thinking we had to put that in there because it was already there.
Right.
Because we don't want to, you know.
Madam Pro Tem, if I was
We'll do all we
going
can.
to respond to Madam Pro Tem for 1 second. I totally agree with everything you just said, and if you can recall, the first time we did that budget, when we amended it, what did I say? I said, we got $1.6 million in here, one-time money. That's paying for, most of that's paying for reoccurring expenses. I said, that terrified you. And that's what we inherited. So trust me, when I say that that's a concern with this administration, because day one, when we got it, before we presented the budget, when the mayor sat down, I told him, I said, this is a problem. Because again, we had to go on the projections and the assumptions that we inherited. And when I saw this, most of this money was money that should have been collected 1 or 2 years prior. And I'm like, so this is a problem.
So that's why when somebody asks us to amend the budget, I need a good reason to amend that budget.
Right.
Very good reason.
And one of the main reasons is to stay within that 5% variance. And that's the only reason why we're doing the quarterly review, because if we did this race to the end, I'll present you these numbers and they all out of whack from the original budget, you know, I'll be sitting here with a shield catching strays because it wouldn't be pretty. So, you know, I asked the mayor, you know, it's something that, you know, we want to take on. And he agreed that we should. I mean, it's something that I think is appropriate because, again, your legislative body got the power of the purse. So we should be coming to you quarterly at minimum and giving you the numbers that we have. Like I say, we did good the first quarter. Again, we got off a little bit on the second quarter mid-year. There's some things that we cleaned up for his report that, you know, moving forward, it's not happening anymore. So that's going to allow me to not only do this quarterly, but from an administrative standpoint, I told the mayor, I said, we can do this every month and give it to the department heads. Because I like to come in, Chief Reed and Chief Williams, they've been doing a phenomenal job. And that's kind of the test case because we've been meeting with them, well, not meeting with them, they've been coming to the administration, you know, periodically throughout the course of the year, you know, checking it and doing things like that. So a lot of that interaction kind of built the policy on moving forward, how we can do it citywide. And I just want to commend, like I said, give flowers to people when they're here. Chief Reed and Chief Williams have done an awesome job in regards to managing their budget. I mean, you can just look at the numbers. It bears it out. Sorry, Chancellor Grant, I mean to cut you off.
Yeah, mine's gonna be short. So we just addressed the elephant in the room. So being that we are a little bit over 2.5 months before the year closed, how are we looking percentage-wise on receiving this $1.6 million?
I'm very confident about what the mayor, we had a conversation with the clerk and she's working and she's at a conference training in New Orleans. The two main pieces of sources of revenue that is most concerning is coming from the FAA reimbursements in the airport, because it's a little less than $1 million, about 900 and something. And then Hurricane Laura reimbursement, how long ago was that? Which is about a little over $500,000. Now, there are 2 invoices that were submitted and weren't paid because there was some kind of technical error. That was, Madam Clerk fixed that and submitted one of them Friday. And we got that, it was over $118,000 we got yesterday or today? Today. And that was submitted Friday. So when she comes back, I think there was a miscalculation with the invoice because there's a certain amount of money that they deem owed to us and what we submitted exceeds that. So they're not gonna pay us, because those numbers don't match up. So she gotta go through the numbers and double check. We're gonna reach out to, what's the gentleman's name for Volker?
Mr. Chair.
Reach out with him, because he said he'd help us go through it, and that's about $700,000. So once we get that cleared up, if they pay out in less than a week, we good shape. So to go back to what you're saying about the government and, how volatile it is, the Hurricane Laura money is the only thing that I'm concerned about, but that's $500,000. I think we can deal with that, in June, for as being able to alleviate that loss or that deferral revenue.
Okay, so my next question will be, being that we 2.5 months away, and we don't receive those grants, that 1.6, because you and I both know you can tell every worker in the city not to show up, and I still don't think it'll cover the $1.6 million. So where, at that moment, if we don't receive it, where would we put it from?
Well, I guess the easiest thing to do is look at non-payroll expenditures and reduce them by 39%.
And
Which will mean that,
I'm on the fence to hoping that we receive it, because that's gonna be a task to do it in 2 months.
if we got $118,000 in 3 days from submitting something, again, the way I was explained, this money is there sitting. It's not something that is gonna go away. They have to maintain that money. Yeah, because that money's there. It's not going anywhere else. It's not one of those grants to where this particular grant, it's not one of those, if it's not expended, then that appropriation goes back. That money's been committed to this project and it's set aside, and we just have to submit the documents to get it. And it's just a matter of submitting that document. So to answer your question, $1 million of that, I'm confident that we're gonna have before the end of this month. And the other 100,000 should come in this month. The only thing that's really, I'm gonna be honest with you, that's concerning is that Hurricane Laura reimbursement. But we got plans for that, and we're probably gonna seek some congressional help on that next week. To be honest, to let you know, that's what we're gonna reach out and ask for congressional help on that.
I got a point of information, Mr. Smith. Mary, you stated something earlier, since you made it germane to what we referred to. The reason I was harping on those numbers is because the mayor made a point that we operate on the bare minimum, right? With employees, we operate on the bare minimum. But I'm really trying to make sure that when the time comes that you will be able to fill those positions, because think about it. The money is already allocated in the budget, but we don't have those people. We're operating without them, but they're budgeted in.
Correct.
And now we still coming out on the high end. So what's going to happen when you fill those vacancies? Let me finish. Let me finish what I'm saying. I'm looking at the budget. What you budget? I'm going back to the mayor now when he said that operational deal that how we operate, right? You don't want everybody to go over because we already done. They already budgeted. It's already budgeted in for those people, right? So what I'm saying, if you've been operating, it's like a ghost. You got ghost money because those positions are not filled. And if you exceed your thing and you already done put the money in for like 5 or 6 positions, but you're not actually paying those people, and you going spending money, what's going to happen when you actually put those people in? The money's already built in. So therefore, you actually got a cushion because you don't have those employees to pay.
We do.
That's what I'm saying. I'm trying to prevent a problem. Remember, I'm trying to make sure that you're going to be all right. The money's going to be sufficient amount of money when it's time. I don't want you to be blindsided. So hear me clearly.
Right.
I'm not talking about no particular department. Everybody has to restrain and stay within constraints because you got money that's not out there. You got positions that not filled, but also it's like you using that money. It's like you put money in, you using that money that you set aside for employees, but actually doing it's other things that you're using with like overtime and all that other stuff. But when you get ready to put those people in, so the money that you allocated for those people, once you fill those positions, they actually gonna be using that money. So what's gonna happen when it's all filled up?
Well, that's not entirely the picture. I see what you're saying, but that money is still there, and it's gonna be it's gonna be a surplus. We're not exceeding the budget authority. You're still spending $14.3 million.
Remember this conversation we had at the end of the year.
Right, because what's gonna happen?
Remember this conversation, because I don't want it to happen, but I'm looking at something that's, Mayor, I don't want to creep up on you, but remember this meeting. Everybody, we these numbers here, if there's any mistake, you gotta remember, people are human.
Right.
And they make mistakes calculating also. So you got to really factor in that it may be a mistake, because everybody is not 100%. So if you just say you have a mistake of 700,000, not you, just everybody, you know, and you don't have it in there, and then you got all this other variations. Right now, I just want to make sure that we're on point, because you asked us to amend the budget.
Right, Councilman Green, your point is well taken, but I think the issue is two separate things. Number one, we're not exceeding the budget authority overall. And in those categories where we don't have those vacancies are vacant and that funding is still there, there's gonna be a surplus in those categories. And to go back to Madam Pro Tem's question and issue, that's where the offsets are gonna be built in already. So because of those vacancies are present, Madam Pro Tem, if the push comes to shove that we don't get that Hurricane Laura money, it's a possibility that we have a surplus that may be close to eclipsing that. So your concern is technically not a concern, other than we may be over budget in regards to these positions, because if we can't fill them in the future, we might need to reduce that budget authority for the salaries and move it somewhere else. But we don't anticipate having to do that. So we do have surplus built in, and if we were exceeding the $14.3 million, then that would be an issue, because you're spending and saving, and your spending may eclipse your surplus. We're not there.
Yeah, and I get why the position there, so the surplus could cover some areas that you're short. But what Councilman Green said, if those positions are filled, then it won't be a surplus to move that money somewhere else. See,
right, but
for example, right, you do park and recreation. If you only have 5 employees, but you budget for 10. So those 5 employees position is there, you can utilize that money to go elsewhere, right?
No, you can at the end of the fiscal year.
Right. So if those 5 positions become 10 positions, then you have no surplus in that area.
You have surplus for the amount of months that they were vacant. Because
I get
right. So you don't spend for the year when you hire.
No, I get what you're saying. What he's saying is now it become from 5 employees going into the next year, from 5 to 10. Now we don't have a 5 position that's going to create a surplus, because now we filled them all. So he was saying when we get to the point where we hire all these positions, then we no longer have a surplus. Where do we pull that money from?
The question would be, if you look at the budget and you look at again, compared to the one-time money that's in it.
No, without the one.
But when you eliminate that and you do dollar for dollar, we're not going to, with this new budget, it's 13.3, it's pretty much going to be a standstill budget. So moving forward, we're going to have to really control, because we can't spend at the same clip that we did before.
Right.
So these spending controls that we have in place are going to kick in. It's going to prevent that. So we get to the point where, because again, when you see the new budget, we're going to budget for salaries, we're going to budget for overtime, we're going to budget for temporary positions, we're going to budget for drop. So you're going to be able to see it's not being done like that now. Because again, we inherited that, but we're going to restructure the budget. So we're going to be able to track all of these things to where we're going to be on top of it every quarter. Because when you get the report, you're going to see the numbers. Okay, anything that's over after the first quarter, anything over 25%, I'll be asking questions about it. Because we already looked at it. Because see, those triggers are what trigger us in examining that. We just not gonna give it to you and not analyze the data before we give it to you. We already looked at those numbers. And everything that's over 65% in this budget, we looked at. Anything that's under 65%, we looked at like, okay, do we really need this next time?
Yeah.
So,
I got you.
yeah,
I think we're building a lot of hypotheticals.
and that's all the budget is. It's
Yeah.
like,
But you have to though.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
you have to.
That's how you have to do a budget.
Hopefully you get your money in, yeah. But we did it all. If we don't, then.
and we got some adjustments to make.
Okay.
Again,
All right, we're gonna
again,
move forward,
Yeah.
we're gonna move forward, we're gonna move to 7B, planning and zoning committee report. I don't think we have none. It's a quality assurance panel.
Has the committee met yet?
I don't think so. We was in court, we've been in court the last 2 weeks.
No, ma'am.
I'm almost positive they did meet.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm on that panel, so I'm in.
And then we up to the historic district board. They say none, but we have one.
I'm gonna try this one last time.
All right.
Okay, as I had said earlier, I am with the Historic District Commission, and we are discussing Franklin Street in the heart of the historic district. We have a burned out building that remains exposed and unsecured. As it stands today, it presents a clear and ongoing safety hazard. The condition of the site creates risks, include falling debris, unstable materials, and the potential for someone, especially a child, to unknowingly enter a dangerous area. Under normal circumstances, this would already be a concern, but in just a few weeks during May Madness, we're expecting thousands of people downtown, families, children, visitors from surrounding communities and beyond. Franklin Street will be a heavily trafficked area, and that hazard will no longer be a quiet concern. It'll be a serious liability and a preventable risk. This request comes to you after a unanimous vote of the Historic District Commission, reflecting our shared belief that action is both necessary and urgent. We are asking respectfully, but very urgently, that the city take immediate action to install a physical safety barrier around the structure. Not signage, no temporary caution tape, no barrels. We're talking a solid, visible, physical barrier that clearly prevents access and protects the public. I want to be very clear. This is not an issue that needs to be studied, delayed, or kicked down the road. This is a situation where action needs to be taken immediately. And I'm asking y'all to do that tonight. This is more about compliance. It's also about responsibility. We work very hard to position Bastrop as a welcoming, vibrant community. And the events like May Madness showcase the very best that the city has to offer and who we are. But with every opportunity comes the responsibility to ensure that every street we invite people to be on is safe, secure, and worthy of the experience that we're promoting. A simple barrier is not a large request, but it makes a very powerful statement. Bastrop needs to take this safety concern seriously. We need to be proactive, not reactive. And we need to value both our citizens and our guests that are coming to our community. We have an opportunity right now to address this before it becomes an incident. Let's not wait for an accident to happen for us to force action. Let's lead with foresight, with care, and with pride in our community. I thank you for your time, and I appreciate y'all letting me come and talk tonight. And once again, a unanimous vote of the Historic District Commission is requesting a physical structure to be erected around the burned out building for the safety of the public. Thanks.
Ms. Plum,
Hold
I
up.
have one comment, Ms. Yeah.
I'm gonna address
Oh,
something.
go ahead.
For you, Ms. Arnett, and for the historic building, if y'all think one minute that we're not doing, or the wheels not turning, or we don't care about the safety of this city, not just the square, around the square, for one day, hold up. For the safety and the pride and the care, this council and this administration care, we have not stopped since that building failed.
And Mayor, I
Hold
totally
up,
understand
excuse me. Myself went out there and waited and barricaded, did what we had to do, put tape around it, barricaded
I saw
to
you
do
and
it, and I said we was gonna put a barricade wood around it. That's all we can do. That's somebody else's property. As the mayor of the city, we don't, and the council, we don't make sure it's safe. Before you came up here, we was gonna do.
Oh, and
So we don't
I
need y'all
understand
thinking
that. I
that
just
we're
want
not
y'all to
going to do anything, or the wheel, I heard the meeting the other day, the wheels always turn, our wheels never stop turning as mayor and city council of this city.
And I get that, but this has been an ongoing problem for years. This isn't just a problem that's been in your administration. You inherited it, and we all understand that, I promise you. And I'm not saying that y'all aren't doing it. I know you've already put out for bids and everything, and I applaud you for that, because that's more action than we've had out of other administrations. But I do need y'all to recognize that this is a very dangerous situation, and we have a lot of people coming to Bastrop in 3 weeks. I don't see how, it might happen, y'all might can get the bids, get it out, outsourced and everything, and they get some kind of structure made. But if not, it is the city's responsibility to take this on. And this is very concerning to everybody on the historic district. And the other hat that I wear, I'm also on the May Madness committee, and we're totally concerned about it. And we need action on this. Like I said, I know y'all are taking action, but we need more action. This is something that needs to be done, and it needs to be done before May Madness. It needs to be done immediately, because we're very lucky that that collapse that you've already had didn't injure someone.
Like the large building also, huh?
And that was my response. When that building fell in, I think Mayor Moore, we called a special call meeting, within a couple of days?
Oh, yeah.
Within a couple of days, and we did move, we all voted unanimously to try to take care of this. But also, we have to follow the constraints of our bid law. We have to do things
And
like
we do,
that.
I totally understand that. Like,
And-
I'm not bashing anybody or anything. I'm just saying,
Yeah,
in
so I
3
know,
weeks, we're gonna have thousands of people downtown. And I mean, we have it barricaded with the barrels now, but that's not gonna work. We need more. And, I'm not, like I say, I'm not fussing at all. I'm just saying, please, I'm begging you to take action. on
we're
this.
trying to, but we gotta follow the bid laws. We have to do that.
Yeah, but you can put some kind of structure around it just to keep people out.
Thank you, Ms. Hill.
Can I say something?
Nobody got no money.
Can I say something?
Wait a minute, let me say anything with you.
Who you represent?
Same thing, the historic district. Cindy Hendricks, I'll just say 1905 East Madison. What we're just asking, what our request is actually for right now, while you get the bids, or doing what you need to do to,
We
it's gonna have
understand
to
you want
come
to
down.
barricade around it.
We want to barricade around it, but, and the other thing that while I was just sitting there, I was thinking, we have a lot of homeless people coming by that, they're walking all the time. Is there any way to get the bricks up? Because, one of those, they could take some of those bricks and throw them in windows, and
They can bring some up there too, can't they?
I'm just saying, there's something.
Just right now, it's too dangerous to get there. I'm not gonna put my workers up under those bricks until we get the top knocked down, Miss Cindy.
Okay,
Actually,
okay.
when I went out there, me and Mr. Thornton, I told him, and Mr. Hatfield, do not go, inside the perimeter, because you got bricks loose. That's why we got the barricade there. So I don't want to put my workers involved in that either until we get somebody professional to get the top bricks off. Then we get the ones off the floor.
So are y'all doing what, a bid? I thought the bid was to take the whole thing down, but y'all just saying,
It's
give a bid
everything.
just to do that top,
It's everything.
it's everything.
Yes, ma'am.
those are connecting walls, you think,
Well, you can go, like the top is separated, but the walls are safe because they
that's what I'm
connect.
saying, not everything.
And the front will be gone too. The front of the building and the top is sticking straight up.
Okay, what is the timeline on, as far as like when you get a bid? Do y'all, I mean, I know, do y'all have to wait a certain period of time?
I think. Just get a bid and,
Come back to the council.
You know, I mean, do they have like 30 days to turn it in, or 2 weeks to turn it in, or a week to turn it in? You know,
You know
how?
somebody that do it, that wanna do it?
No, I'm just asking, I didn't know legally,
Yeah.
what, you know, a
I don't know
timeline.
how
I mean,
long
we
it
do
is.
bids too, but they give you like so much
Yeah,
time.
we get some, as soon as we get some that's reasonable, we'll just come back with it.
Okay, well, I didn't know if it was a timeline that they had to put it in or whatever, and then you had a timeline for what,
They're supposed to.
how long they're gonna take.
As long as they submit, as soon as possible.
She won't do it.
If you don't have any bids before May Madness, what are we?
Barricade, like Miss Susan said. Barricade it off. To make sure nobody don't walk in. No tape, no bears, plywood probably.
Okay, that sounds good. We just, that's it. Thank you.
No. Requested speaker items submitted by members of the public for the agenda. Mr. Henry, then, Mr. Miles.
How you doing?
All right.
I am Tony Miles, 611 Pearl Street, Baton, Louisiana, 71220. Mayor, council members, all. I want to address the other part of my proposal, the matter of renaming the airport. Has that been given any consideration or?
No, sir, not at this moment.
Not at this
Not-
moment?
No, sir.
Um,
We just can't do it, yeah. That's gonna have to go through the FAA and all that.
I understand we have to go through the FAA, but wouldn't you file for this to be done?
Yeah.
And see, what happened.
We're not. Councilman Doug, you got something?
No, I was just gonna say, basically, a decision hasn't been made, because you're talking about making a local decision,
Yeah.
and then going to the federal authorities or federal administration
Sounds good.
to actually act on it, get it renamed. So a decision hasn't been made on it yet, that's point blank, here locally.
Decision has not been made. That's not scratch it off, forget it.
Right.
That's not been made.
Right.
We'll have you to remind us.
I'm out here. Thank you and God bless you.
Thank you, Mr.
Mr. Miles, I was thinking,
Yeah.
Come check in?
I think what Mr. Miles is saying, I think what he's asking, I know he said you gotta go through the FAA and all that. He's saying if the council administration, have we did anything, submitted anything there,
No, we
or
have,
we, okay, that's what, I think that's what he.
you gotta go through y'all. You gotta
Not
get
just
it done.
whether you had submitted it, like, had you decided whether you would consider submitting anything?
Well, I think the problem is that they trying to steer research because they saying you have to go through the FAA and all this just before you could even make a name change. I think that's the dilemma that the city is in right now. So I'm sure the mayor having for guiding the situation. I think he's looking into it, but right now it's more complicated than just making a name change. So I promise you, I think that he's looking into it, right? Not just to push you off or anything.
No.
Yes, sir. I think that when I don't know the time frame, or whatever, but I'm sure that he's looking into it.
Oh, I understand. I know y'all been busy and I believe y'all doing a very good job. And
Appreciate it, Mr.
I'm out there. God bless you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr.
Yes, sir.
For any city official, Bath City Police Department Chief Reed.
Good evening, Mayor and Council.
We have a young lady that, has a request for a special permit.
It's Mike on
I don't think it's on, no.
I'll leave some batteries.
Hi, everyone. Hey, my name's Jessica Everett, and I'm the secretary of the Morehouse Activity Center now. I am, I guess, speaking for Bill Hudson with Double Creek Rodeo. He has, he wasn't able to make it tonight. He is requesting to serve alcohol at the rodeo on May the 8th and 9th.
So you wanna,
What's your
that's at the Mac,
Yeah.
so she asking to get approved for special,
What's-
for that.
What's your recommendation, chief?
I recommend that we give it to him.
Okay.
8th and 9th.
I make that motion.
And I second it.
So I have a question for Chief. So if someone rent out the Mac, for example, what would be a reason you don't make a recommendation? Because the guy doing the rodeo, right? Right. So what would be a reason, so right now you're saying rodeo is okay. So what would be a reason you don't give a recommendation? Just wanna know. Cause I know quite a few people that also rent the Mac. So I just wanna make sure that when I'm telling information, I'm being transparent. Cause I'm on board with it, but I just wanna know what's some of your reason you won't make a recommendation.
If any of it is, not in the guidelines of the local alcohol ordinances, they're automatically not gonna get it. So as long as they have a occupational license or as long as they have properly rented the MAC and, have proof of, what organization they are and, they're in good standing with the law, they can have the, special, I'm gonna recommend them to have it, but it's up to you all to give it to them. And if I saw any discretion when they apply for it, I would advise.
I just like transparent going forward, especially with the board. Just why I wanna know what won't be considered as recommendation from you.
Right, when I run their background, if anything comes up that would prohibit them to have it, I
Do we
wouldn't.
have officers on duty?
No.
They have deputies on duty if they request security.
Okay. So you said you run a background, meaning, like it'd be something that's on their background that would prevent you from saying, hey, I recommend them to have a liquor license? What is
We run background checks on anyone who applies for a liquor license, whether it's a special license or whether it's a regular liquor license.
So the background, okay, I'm just trying to get some ideas of what tells them.
Right.
So who made the motion?
I make the motion.
Okay.
Been moved and second. Councilman call for the question in the debate. About call question.
We got one more.
We got one more, okay, I know what that was.
Shantika Downs, 509 West Pine, Bastrop, Louisiana, 712.
Man, point of order.
We gotta vote on the first.
Oh, yeah.
We got
Oh, I'm sorry. I just saw, she was trying to come like, yeah. Wait a minute.
No.
No, we'll leave it back.
We got a mo- we got a motion.
We have a motion and a second.
I'll just gotta call the vote.
In a vote. Motion carried. There you go.
Congratulations.
Good.
Shantika Downs, 509 West Pine, Bastrop, Louisiana, 71220. I'm requesting to sell daiquiris at the Crawfish Festival in approval on behalf of the council. I would appreciate it if you all would allow it. April the 16th, 2026 through April the 18th, 2026.
What's your recommendation, chief?
What is that?
That's a fair.
Crawfish Festival. Crawfish Festival.
Same thing.
What's
That's the
your
Mac, that's the Mac,
recommendation?
right?
I recommend it.
Yeah, same place.
I'll make that motion.
Okay, second. In a vote.
It's been properly moved and second.
Aye.
Aye.
In a vote. Motion
Question.
carried. Go ahead, Cory.
Just to be clear, you said you're gonna be selling daiquiris, right? I'm to assume that these daiquiris are gonna have alcohol in it, right?
Yes,
Or they
sir.
could be virgin daiquiris.
They will be both. We'll have virgin daiquiris and we'll have alcoholic beverages too.
So this would be an alcohol special use permit.
Yeah, like the last.
Like the last one.
Okay.
Chief recommended it, so we did it.
I got a point of information. Just change, I'll let the others say, is this the same event? Cause I don't have them.
No.
Two different events.
Two different days.
One of them is a fair, I'm trying to get.
One of them is a rodeo and the other one is a crawfish festival.
When is that, when is yours?
May 8th and 9th.
May 8th, 9th. Okay, come here.
Call for the vote.
We already did. We already did. We haven't come.
Chief, I have a question before you sit down.
Yes, ma'am.
I think a couple of years ago, Mayor, is okay, Councilman?
Just have, Councilman.
All right, a couple of years ago, we, I know we approved cameras to be set up through the city.
Yes, ma'am.
So have we set up all the cameras that we should have? Do we have any cameras that have not been set up?
We have all of them set up, ma'am. We had one that was damaged a couple of weeks ago. I just got the parts in and they're gonna come and put it up, but all the cameras that we ordered are up.
So do we need to discuss, since we're talking about this upcoming budget, more cameras in more trouble areas? That's a,
Yes, ma'am. I had spoken with the mayor about it and, we were planning on discussing that with you all.
okay, that's something that's very necessary.
Yes, ma'am. We
All
have
right.
several areas that we want to talk with you all about.
Okay,
Point of information, chief. On these two that you made recommendations on,
Yes, sir.
just curious, are the kids gonna be, you making recommendations to serve something where kids gonna be at?
These alcoholic beverages are gonna be served to people who are 21 years and older.
I know they're not gonna be served to kids. I'm saying kids gonna be at the facilities and functions.
Yes, at the rodeo and they come to the crawfish festival.
Okay.
Yeah, they do it,
Yeah.
Cause they
Chef
do
Tubbs had to give some of his officers for something they charge extra though, but that's some right.
They will have security at those
They gotta hit 'em with
locations. They have to have them at that location when they have minors there.
I think when Councilman Green is asking you for some clarity, because I just want some clarity, because I can see I see where the question is leading to, so.
Right.
Okay.
But they gonna have you have more officers than normal. No alcohol is less officers. If you have alcohol, there's gonna be more officers.
That's correct.
All right, Councilman Doe.
Chief Reed, I'm looking at the Jackson Police Department month of March report. Do you have that? You have that handy?
No, I don't.
Okay, all right, well, you can probably get it. You have a number of arrests, which is 132.
Oh, that report, yes, sir, I have that report.
Okay.
Thought you were talking about the budget.
No, no.
Those cameras.
That's on your mind.
Please don't go back on that.
Okay, where it says number of arrests tried in court, 119, and then right below that, it's number released to Morehouse Parish Sheriff's Office. What is that number? I mean, what does that mean when you say released to Morehouse Parish Sheriff's Office?
Those will be the ones that are felony grade. When they felony grade, we have to house them over at Morehouse. That means we release them to Morehouse Parish Sheriff's Office. If it's a felony, they have to bond out to the Sheriff's Department.
Oh, okay.
We handle all the misdemeanors, but the felonies, once we arrest them, everything else goes through the Sheriff's Department. In district courts.
And so does that mean that they become one of the inmates that we pay the sheriff's office for as well?
No, sir, not the felony grade.
Okay. Even though they were arrested by Bastrop PD.
Once it's felony, it's police jury.
Okay. I have a question. Where are we on the officer patrol number?
We still have the same amount of officers. We still have the 7 officers. We do have some more dispatchers. I just hired a dispatcher yesterday, and I got 2 more that I'm in the process of hiring. But hopefully we'll get some more officers. Me and the mayor are working on something. When he gets this civil service board together, they should bring us some more officers. I'm pretty sure he probably shared it with some of you all already. But we're working on something that should bring us some more numbers.
Got another question for Councilman Jay Green.
Well, Chief, I just want to commend the city, Bastrop, when it comes to liquor license, because I really not asked you those questions, because I'm glad you was consistent, because a few years ago, Mr. Simmons had an event over at the place over there, and the city granted them an exception and let them sold alcohol for that event. So I'm just always, I want to commend you, because I was going to make sure you're consistent.
Yes, sir. I try to be. Yes, sir.
Thank you, Chief.
Councilman D. Green?
Yeah, see, quick question. I'm sorry, Mr. Stephanie, I'm sorry.
Councilman D. Green, go ahead.
See, quick question. So if someone goes to jail and be housed in the parish on the charges related to the city, where do the funds, do we get paid for that, or what do the funds, do we have to pay for them to be there?
If it's going through district court, that's gonna be the police.
No, I'm saying just come to city court. You know how city court charges?
Oh, yeah. Misdemeanors, if we arrest them inside the city limits, that yes. And they're housed over there, we paying for that.
We paying for that?
Yes, sir.
So we don't receive nothing for like a percentage at the end of the year from that? I'm just asking because.
So we're supposed to be getting something from, like when they pay their restitution to the courts or whatever, we're supposed to get a certain percentage of that. Now, how much it is, I don't know, but we're supposed to get a portion of it.
Yeah, because I was always told that jail was $1 million business, so I was just trying to figure out.
Oh, yeah, they make money,
If they,
we need to get our city jail.
So here's what I'm saying, because if the sheriff arrests someone inside the city of Bastrop, they don't come through city court.
No, sir. If they arrest somebody, they're gonna run it through district.
So again, that's the money we miss. But now, if someone come through city court on misdemeanor and go to jail and have to be housed in the parish, then we have to pay for it.
We pay for the house.
So what do the city get?
Nothing, just some money off of whatever.
Not to mention when they patrolling, and I think this time and a half. Oh man.
That's what happened.
We working on it, Mr. D. Green, Jay Green. D. Green, we working on it.
Nah, I said that. James didn't say that.
I said we working on it. Already.
Just give it to him.
If I could respectfully request, a good idea would be for us to maybe put our attention towards getting our jail back.
Councilman.
You said get our jail back.
Yes, sir.
Alright.
Get our jail back up and running.
They can get the money, why not?
Just one question. I know you said 7 officers. So how many days a week are we patrolling?
We're still doing the same amount of days. We're still patrolling every day, and we're still doing 3 nights, Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
That's it?
Mr. Smith, back to your question about the jail, talking about your recommendation about the jail.
Yes.
Mr. Smith, when this administration first was elected, remember you talked about some remedies that you and the mayor was going to put into place. Let's not lose focus.
We've been
All right.
it's on the list, but some always pushes it down. But it's on that list.
We're 9 months in, and it sounded good what we talked about.
It's still on the list.
Because we bleed money.
Thank you.
200 checking me.
Yes, sir.
$250,000.
We got lead fire department. Chief Williams, you have anything?
Not unless y'all got something for me.
All right, let's go to code enforcement. Mr. Lee Jordan, you have anything?
Have we had any new, environmental court cases?
How y'all doing? How y'all doing?
All right.
We have, environmental court on the 15th. We're gonna see how they go.
How many cases you got?
Right now, I want to say I counted 15 on this. We're gonna see how it go. We ran into a little hiccup dealing with the ordinance and might have to, get with David and get some stuff amended because we don't have the population of 70,000. So a lot of stuff that I'm pushing through environmental court won't stick because they can't have it because we don't have that population. So on the 15th, I kind of know more, what we looking at, but they are out working. The people that I'm going out citing, they out working. One of our main areas over there on North Odom, I'm watching them working. They got a dumpster out there now. That was an eyesore.
What about Country Club? That's
Country Club. Like I said, last time we spoke on Country Club, that's gonna be a project the city gonna have to take care of.
Let them talk on North Odom.
But like I say, North Odom, over by Craftman, we all know that was one of the biggest eyesores around. They finally got a dumpster out there. They actually cleaning their property out as we speak. It's not a fast process, but it's a process. And that was one of the processes. Like I say, Craftman, got word in the wind. They were talking about uprooting from right there, because it was eyesore. So that's a positive because all the work that I have done, that area was the worst area I had. And I'm sorry, I wasn't gonna stop until I, got something done about it. They came to my office, we sat down, they sat in my office approximately right at an hour. And I know that, they don't have the finances. And I kind of worked them and showed them how to do it. You gotta give up something. You gotta show us that you're trying. You can't just tell us you're trying, you gotta show us. And right now they're showing. And that's all that we can ask is public participation before the city have to go out and do it. And y'all already know, as a city, we have enough to do on our own. But other than that, everything's going smooth. Another property, Sniper, they working. It ain't fast, but I see the difference. I still got them coming in. Like I said, if they see the judge, I'm gonna let the judge, go on from there. But I went out there, that's on your side. One of the worst properties I saw. They working.
They did remove that structure.
They removed the structure.
Okay.
And like I said, that was on city property.
Right.
So that situation was gonna kind of get ugly anyway because it was on our property. I mean, that's kind of a bold thing to do, set shop up on our property. So I was, kind of adamant about them getting that move, and he's working it. Like I say, sometimes I gotta bend and kind of give them a little leeway when I know they're not financially stable. And when I do that, it helps the city also because it prevents the city to have to use our money, use our gas, use our equipment to go over there try to do it when I could just give them a little bit more time. But as long as I see y'all doing something. When the moment I go by and I see it's nothing being done, that's when we're gonna restart it. Like I say, I thank you, each and every one of y'all for calling me to out. Trust me, I go out. I might not can get there right then, but I go out. Mr. James Green, me and him just last week. We was somewhere we have no business, but we was out there calling for a job. Like I say, this is the type of stuff we go through, but we trying. We working together. We trying. Like I say, even when you call, I go. Sometimes when you see a property and there's nothing being done, it's something being done on my end, and I have to follow a process. If I don't follow those days, we are my procedure. We said in the city to be sued. So just know if I say, hey, I'm on it, I'm on it. But other than that, on the code enforcement side, everything.
Point of information, Mr. Lee.
Yes, sir.
When you spoke about the ordinance, we spoke about the ordinance.
Right.
When you and I talked.
Right.
About $7. Get back with me and let me know when was that changed, when was that ordinance enacted?
It came out in October. That when I see it in my email, it was sent to me in October. But I'll get you exact date to see when the actual ordinance changed, but it was sent to me in October.
25.
Yeah, 2025, October 2025, it was sent in my email.
For the population of 70,000?
70,000. We could be adopting somebody else, ordinance, but
Right.
that was just, it's something that you gotta read.
But all of a sudden, somebody wanna point it out,
Right,
but we get past that.
right, we getting past it, like Mia said, we getting past it, cause like I say, I was on the roll, I was doing everything I had to do. One thing about it, when I'm in my office, I'm reading, I'm learning, I'm reading word for word, page for page, so I don't miss nothing. And that particular thing I didn't miss, but when I brought it to the attention, it was blown away, but then all of a sudden it came back. Oh no, so like Mia said, we're gonna get over that hurdle, so come April 15th, if they bring it back up and we can't do it, it's gonna be a pause until we get everything lined out like it should. And once we get it lined out like we need to for the city of Bastrop, I'm going full force.
Well, thank you, Mr. Thorne.
I know, Mr. Thorne, I got to get some clarification. You
Yes,
said
sir.
we was in a place we ain't supposed to be. Dude, let's be more specific. We went to the unknown. We
The unknown.
were within our rights. But
We went
they
to
told
the-
us to go look and nobody ever would look. And so we gonna go check it out. And I was appalled at what we found.
I mean, it was a city within the city.
Curious about what we done. It was all legal, but they told us something. I couldn't believe that it was there, and we went, looked, and it was there.
Is it a secret?
Thank you, Lily, for
Yeah,
saying
right.
too much.
Hold on, one more question.
Yes, sir.
You spoke about some dumpsters over on North Odom.
Right.
Can you elaborate on that?
They actually purchased their own dumpster.
Yeah, they put them there.
They, the landowners.
Oh, okay.
The
they
people
got
I put
that.
in through environmental court, they actually purchased their own dumpster.
I have a question to that end. It was brought to my attention, or it was asked, can we put those, like they have the free dumpsters, they have them maybe at the dump site or landfill site, or maybe the ditto building?
Not ditto.
No, I understand it. I'm saying like we did before. Can we bring that inside, bring those dumpsters inside of the neighborhood?
That was K and B, that wasn't.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
whoever.
They have some, April, I announced it in an announcement in April, they will have some 23rd, 4th field. And we also will do a day on that Saturday, the city will. Participate in Love the Boot, they do it every year.
What is that, community?
It's state, lieutenant governor.
Okay.
They do it every year and keep up the tons, the trash is picked up. But we are participating in that, and so is Keep Lines Beautiful.
Reason I asked is because a resident asked me, he made the point that a lot of residents, the stuff that they have that needs to be thrown away, they didn't have transportation to throw it away. So he asked the question, could we bring the dumpsters or a dumpster inside of the neighborhood?
I want to say the city can, they can pay the city to do it. but-
That's one of the things I was talking to Mr. Smith about doing, getting a couple dumpsters and putting them out, every so often. Keep the work for getting stuff out the ditches and stuff, so.
So in the words of Councilman James, this is Joe Rainey. Listen, sorry I had to use that, but I was talking, maybe I was talking to KT earlier today. I was thinking about what's the possibility of going back to free trash pickup inside the city of Bastrop? Because I was, back when I did some research, the quote that was given is given on the parish as a whole. But if you think about, trash wasn't as bad when we had free trash pickup. And then so one of my constituents today told me that she don't feel it's fair that she paying tax for trash pickup. And then here we are, have to pay for trash to be hauled off.
I asked about that,
Vintage, y'all made it from me. I
What's she paying us? I think
had to
it's
walk
half.
through the door.
I think it's a half cent, what she paying, for anybody to spend money inside the parish. But that's taking off the big price of waste management. If that tax went in place, she'll be paying more than that.
Well, that's what I'm telling you, right? So back when it started, the quote is based off a parish as a whole, not as the city as a whole.
Right.
If you was to do the quote based off the city, it'll be, at least the price will be lower because the number of people are lower.
Right.
You know, so I remember Mr. Kai and I talked about, maybe rest in love. I remember him and I talked about it. We was trying to see, he talked about it. We was trying to see what would it take to go back to doing free trash pickup, because it's almost like you double charging people. You charging people because then they tax dollars on. If you look at your property tax, who all got taxes, you are paying for your trash to be picked up already. So then you have to pay again. You know, I'm a city councilman, so you already know my money limit. So you gotta pay twice. I don't think that's fair.
Well, Councilman Green, this is Jermaine, I got a point of information.
Okay, I open the door.
You open the door for it. And we spoke about this last time. It was like taxation without representation. The parish controls the mechanism of collecting the taxes, all right? But when they passed the tax bill, I concur with Councilman Green. Nowhere in there that when they passed the tax, they said you was gonna have to pay a subsidy tax. That's what it is. You subsidize it. Go back and read when they passed it. They didn't say, well, since we don't have enough money, the bill didn't say none of that. It's just, they passed the tax to pick up trash, and then they said the trucks was breaking down and all that, and the cost started to escalate and rise. And so I kind of agree with the people. You got a tax on the book, and then you subsidizing it by when you get waste management, you have to pay $90 a month. I mean, $90 every 3 months. So what about those people that have property and that pay property taxes? You're already paying the tax, but they're gonna penalize you because you can't afford to pay the $90 every 3 months. But there's a tax on the book for those people to pick up, the city and the parish to pick up your taxes. Now that just ain't right. You pass the tax, then you subsidize it, and then if you can't pay the subsidy, we're gonna take your money off your taxes, but if you can't pay the subsidy, we're not gonna pick your trash up.
Yeah. So what it's doing?
It don't make sense. I can understand. I know they don't want to go back to, the people don't want to go back and ask for taxes to be raised or whatever. So therefore, they just say if you don't pay, but it's not right, because whether I pay the $90 or not, you're still gonna get it out of my property tax. So I'm paying taxes on something that you promised me that when I went and voted for it, that you was gonna do. But once I went and did it, you said it's cost too much, so we're gonna make everybody pay $90. But you didn't say that when you asked us to pass the bill, when you asked us to pass the tax. That's something we need to really address, because we, outside the city limits, like you say, Mr. Green, they can burn trash and all that. Inside, we can't burn, so we had a big disadvantage. And one thing about it is, I don't care how poor you are or whatever, that's when you see all these, when you see trash pick up, you can attest to this, mostly it's fast food. Mostly it's fast food, because you're not gonna take the trash. It's not right, but young people, anybody, if you don't have trash pickup, who gonna take the trash home? That's why you see all those McDonald's bags, Popeyes bags on the side of the road, because people don't have it. Since it's Jermaine, it's another thing, Mayor, that you probably need to consider, is the property. If you go look around, the renters. Okay, if you go look at some of these apartments, just go look. You ride around and you just go down the street, you'll see how many green trash cans are on the road versus the houses. It's big, it's disproportionate. A lot of people, you don't realize this, a lot of people do not have waste management. They waste management is Bastrop City ditches. So, I mean, you paying for it one way or the other. It's just, it's kind of complicated, but it's something that needs to be addressed with the police jury and mayor. But we need to come up with a plan, because if you don't address the problem, if you just keep talking about it and you don't come up with a real solution, because one of my solutions would be And I think it wouldn't be out of the realm of possibility. People already paying taxes because you taxed it. They just don't pay the subsidy. That's why you don't pick up their trash. What about having a dumpster or having the truck go around once a month? They already paying for it. They just can't afford to pick up. So that's my recommendation that we visit the situation and see how can we better address the issue of trash inside the city limits. And you got to partner with the police jury because they are the ones that collect the taxes.
Thank you, Mr. Doherty.
So, Mr. Doherty, until we solve the problem, you're gonna have your job is gonna be overwhelming.
Let's skip down to policy and budget, Mr. Ricky Smith.
I don't have anything other than the item that's on the agenda. So, okay, so.
Special advisor, Mr. Jamie Mayo.
Okay. She says to make it quick. Good evening, everybody. I have 3 quick items. First is, I think everybody knows, is Veronica Tappan. She's a school board member from the Morehouse Parish School System, and she was in a competitive race with the State School Board Association, and she had a landslide victory. So when you see her, please congratulate her. This was very good for not only her in the school system, but also for the entire parish. So I think all of you know her very well, especially Councilman Howard Locke. Okay, the second thing is I want to bring out the fact that this debris removal, I know all of you are very concerned about that from the ice storm. And we're about, the Public Works Department is about 50% complete with that. And today I had an opportunity to be on a virtual call with FEMA and also some state officials concerning what our role is and the things that we need to do. From the time that we had the ice storm, which was January the 23rd, they gave us 180 days to complete the process to be able to get reimbursement for the debris removal. And also this is a category A, which is sufficient to be able to get reimbursed, but it'll be a 75%, 25% match to be able to do that. So I was on the telephone, the mayor asked me with that. I was on the telephone today with them, and we'll have another meeting as well. Mayor Moore and Ms. Clark, our clerk, and I have met with a couple of officials that's going to assist us and be able to make sure that our paperwork is done properly to be able to move forward. And I think that's going to be really, really good. The clock is running now. They gave us 180 days, but once you meet with FEMA, then that's when it really starts to run. And so they told me today that we have 60 days to get everything in, which means that we'll need to get all the paperwork done, get all the debris removed, and get all of the limbs taken care of, and get that in, and then a determination will be made. Now, in order to get an extension from that 60 days, we'll have to apply to the state to get that extension. And also the last thing, as I come to a close, the hot mix or cold mix to fill the potholes, which I know all of you as council members are very concerned about that. We've done quite a bit in the Public Works Department. They've been working extremely hard, and several of you have called. I've gotten calls, and I know the mayor gets calls, and we all get calls about that. And I actually go out myself to take a look at it as well when I get a call. And that has been done pretty rapidly. We're getting that low on the mix, and so the mayor is authorizing that we go get some more, because we had to go to Rapides Parish to get some more of that gold mix. so we can continue to get done, because I know we haven't filled every one of them, but we've done quite a bit of them. So, do you have any questions on any one of those?
And that's the closest place that you can get the hot mix, you know?
Well, what I'm told,
That kind
is that kind, there's a local kind, but our folks prefer to go there because it's,
moving, boy, it's still moving when you put it down.
Yeah.
Also, we got them going behind the mix they put down now. We got the big roller going. Normally, they just put it down and pat it in. But we got the roller behind it to clean it out for the state. Yes, sir, we will.
okay. Any other questions?
That's it. I appreciate you. 10, unfinished business, action on ordinance or resolution introduced at previous meeting. A, approval resolution 26-2122. It's a resolution informing the Louisiana Department of Environmental Quality of action taken to maintain permit requirements for Louisiana Water Discharge Permit System Number LA002404443. That's the main treatment plant.
North Farm.
It's the main one.
May I make a motion that we,
Motion, can I get a second?
I second.
Any discussion?
Ask for a roll call vote.
Can I get a roll call vote, please?
Ms. Kathy,
Yes.
Mr. Doty,
Yes.
Mr. James Green.
Yeah.
Mr. Gary Green,
Yes.
Mr. Locke,
yes.
all five in favor.
He used to find it. I mean,
Okay, we on, B. Approve resolution 26-2123, a resolution informing the Louisiana Department of Environmental Quality of action taken to maintain permit requirements for Louisiana Water Discharge Permit System Number LA0020109, and that is the West Pine Treatment Plant.
May I make that motion?
Second. Can I get a call for a vote, please, Ms. Hunt?
Ms. Kathy,
Yes.
Mr. Doty,
Yes.
Mr. James Green.
Yes.
Mr. Gary Green,
Yes.
Mr. Locke,
Yes.
you have all five in favor.
All right. A little slow, because I don't want to catch up a little bit. Chief Williams said, come on, go ahead.
You call it the next.
All right, we're gonna move to C, adopt ordinance 26-4286, an ordinance to enlarge the corporate limits of the city of Bastrop, Louisiana, pursuant to LRS 33-33.171 ET set, and particular RS 33.180 by annexing territory located in the parish of Morehouse, Louisiana, said property being adjacent and contiguous to the existing boundaries of the city of Bastrop, Louisiana, and otherwise providing with respect thereto.
Mayor, I will make that motion.
Okay. Okay. Okay, discussion?
Discussion. This your point, Mr. Green. You say you, was that the question about?
oh yeah, so that's why I asked the question.
Yes, question.
Okay, so I was asking the question where being that in order for them to utilize the sewer, do we have to annex them inside the city limits?
And that was something, I asked, Attorney Jones, and he said yes.
And I want, okay, I want to do something. Well, back to the question that Mr. Green
That is, 26.
was referred to, and I did a little research into that annexation about our sewer plant and our sewer system, Mayor.
Yes, sir.
And I was informed doing my research. You ever heard of Broken Wings?
Yeah.
You ever heard of Broken Wings?
Yes, sir.
How far that is outside city limits?
Way outside.
It's pretty
good way.
out there.
They own our city sewer,
Okay.
but they got a private line that during the Mr. Cotton administration, that there was some kind of agreement made with the city. So they got a line a private line that you have to, it's kind of confused. You have to get in touch with them. They have to give you permission to tie into the line, but it's going to the city sewer, but it's a private line. And I think that Tractor Supply, whatever it is, that tractor place out there, you see that's way out too, right?
Is it better?
It's tied into our city. I want to be concrete, but definitely Broken Wings. They got a line running to our system. And our only question about that is that last time when we discussed it, you said you had to have if it's outside, you had to get a taxing committee and all this other stuff. I was just listening. We didn't do all that for those people it's their private line. They paid for it. But I'm saying if they tied it to the system, when we get it ready to annex something, because think about it now, Meta is coming. And we're gonna have to start looking for land outside the city limit to annex. And sewer is gonna be one of the major factors when it comes to get ready to come. We gotta have the site ready, you gotta get it certified. And the sewer is gonna be one of the primary drivers of whether you're gonna be able to move forward with that tract of land. So I'm just did a little research and I was like, I don't know how that happened, but it happened. So and they're not annexed in.
We got sewer out there, don't have it at the airport, ports of the airport.
Well, maybe over kid. I'm just saying they're not annexed in. They outside the parish and they got a private line. Now I don't know how that came about, but they tied into our sewer system. So what? Yeah, you can go ask them.
Money.
All right.
See, we get paid for it.
So yeah, we can vote.
Man, you got a previous question on that. It's been moved and second already.
Let's move to second discussion. Are you done?
Council Locke called for the question for immediate vote. So I ask for roll call. Roll call.
Roll call.
Ms. Tappan.
All of them.
Go ahead.
We got phone.
It doesn't have to be. Well,
Point of order. Vote call. Call for the vote.
It's been asked. Previous question.
Ms. Tappan.
Yes.
Mr. Doty has stepped away.
He's asked. Madam Pro Tem, right, he's asked.
Mr. J. Green.
Yes.
Mr. Derry Green.
No.
Okay, Mr. Locke.
Yes.
Okay, we have 3 in favor, 1 absent, and 1 no. The motion carries.
I was sure, I want to vote yes. I'm sorry.
Yeah, the fee.
Yes, sir.
New business, action
Hold
on.
on, man, I just gotta run another one, right? We got your, let's do We get a motion to reconsider. Man, you can ask for a vote to reconsider if Councilwoman Mr. Doty to,
Yes,
give
please.
the
Can I get a vote to reconsider,
Motion
so
to
Council Doty can
gotta be
vote, please?
somebody that approved the motion.
So moved.
I second.
Thank
But you
you.
have a motion to reconsider the vote on the ordinance, it's been moved and seconded, need a vote on the reconsideration motion.
Vote on the index and the,
Need a roll call on
roll call or something?
Okay, Ms. Capson,
Yes.
Mr. Doty.
Yes.
Mr. James Green,
Yes.
Mr. Derry Green.
No.
Mr. Locke.
Yes.
Okay, the motion passes. We have
Yeah,
four
four.
in favor and one, no.
All right, man, you can take up another motion to, pass the ordinance. Need a new motion in second.
Can I get a motion on that?
I make a motion.
Second,
Second by Mr. Locke.
all in favor?
Now, roll call, roll
Roll
call.
call, please. Thank you.
Ms. Tappan,
Yes.
Mr. Doty,
Yes.
Mr. James Green,
Yes,
Mr. Derry Green,
and this is, I'm explaining from going from the, I explain.
okay. Mr. Locke.
Yes.
We have four in favor, one abstention, motion carries.
Just by your name, right? Man, make sure you circle your vote.
Yes.
You just write the same thing.
Mr. Chairman. Mr. Mayor, Mr. Chairman. I got a, since you set a precedent just a minute ago, let's make sure we follow those rules, because y'all didn't do that when I stepped out. Y'all just voted and didn't allow me to vote. So if what's good, if what's good for one council is gonna be good for another.
It's in the record.
Let the record reflect.
Yes, sir.
If you voted, you didn't wait on me, you just, only reason you waited because you thought it was gonna fail, you wanted a yes vote.
I have special needs, so.
There.
It's true.
New business, Mayor? Sir?
No, sir. New business? He told me, hold up, he got to catch up. New business, action on proposed new resolution. A, approve resolution 26-2128, a resolution adopting third amendment operating budget for revenues and expenditures for the general and sewer fund for the fiscal year beginning July 1st, 2025 and ending July 30, 2026. Can I get a motion?
I need to know what the changes.
We gotta discuss, we gotta have that for discussion. Gotta get a motion first. That's what they said, it gotta be a motion and a second, then discussion.
I know, but where you located?
We're on, new business number 11.
So what are we doing, Mr. Smith? Are we approving, or do we have questions for the?
I thought just for discussion today.
That was for discussion and adoption.
We're gonna get a motion first and then a second, then we can discuss it before y'all vote on it.
And again, this is, your meeting, you decide on what actions you do and don't take. Again, that's something that we decided to do is present quarterly budget revision. So this is our proposed.
This is the first time, right? This is the first time we looking at it, right?
Yeah, but y'all had it since, a little over a week.
That's all it is.
Yeah, no, it's on Mary Road, it's approved.
I'm talking about after you discuss it.
Right, I mean, so for Robert's rule of order to take up an item, you need a motion and a second, and then
So
discussion
the
start.
proceed for, I'll make a motion that we take up this item.
Second.
All right, no discussion.
Not discussion.
Okay, now I need to know what changes are we approving? I know one of them is the airport expense, right?
Yeah, the main thing, if I could go through again, the cover page speaks for itself. I identified the major areas of concern. If you look at the first page of the memorandum, I pointed out, again, general fund revenue remains estimated around 14.3 million. Like we talked about earlier, 1.5 is one-time appropriations. And of that 1.5, this is what the amounts that we haven't collected to date are expected to collect. And two problem areas that I identified was in the airport department and with the marshal's office. Because if I can quickly go through, if you look at starting on page 3, you see that admin is at 69.8%. Main Street at 57.6 of expenditure budget. Again, the airport and marshal's office are out of budget. The purchase department is at 62.6%, which is well below that 65% threshold. City garage is right in budget at 65.9. Fire department again is at budget at 64.6. Building maintenance is at 60.4, which is well below 65%. You got cemeteries at 51.6, which is well below 65 target. The health department, which is a little bit above budget at 67.4. Recreation department is at 43.3%, which is well below the budget.
Ms. Smith, she got a question. She has
Yeah.
one.
We want to talk about the problem areas. No,
Okay.
you don't have to run through all of them.
Okay.
So what, and I guess the marshal is here, she can answer this for us. What is causing the overages?
And again, the marshal here can speak, but my preliminary review of the expenditures to the marshal's office, and the main driver behind, I have a sheet somewhere. Oh, right here. The major driver of that expense was with overtime. Through the first 3 quarters of the fiscal year, the marshal's office had over 200 hours of overtime, which was around a little less than $6,000. That was additional. Again, when there's overtime, it increases the related benefits as well. So if you look at that 6,000, you probably add another maybe 25 to 30% of the benefit. So that puts it somewhere close to probably $10,000 projected to be over. So that's one of the reasons why the marshal's office has exceeded their budget authority through 3 quarters. Now you look at that's
Page 4.
Page 4, 122,
Quick question.
230.
But we had a meeting with her. We have a meeting with her. She understands.
So it said,
Like the overtime. So we got a meeting with her.
So I guess,
To adjust it.
okay, so I guess we need to know too, how much revenue is, that office bringing in?
can I ask a question?
And that's a question that the marshal has to answer to see.
I'm pretty much like you, like,
I'd have to know how
I
much they
did,
bringing in.
well, also too, like, cause it said right here that it's gonna exceed $134,000. What was the difference between this year and last year? What transpired? You know,
From where?
with the marshal's office.
It's still the same.
So how, did we honor this?
Marshall, could you come up to the mic, please?
At this present time.
It said project. Hey.
Yes.
Miss Lee, quick question. Can you tell me what maybe have transpired to make it be where you had seen the budget over $130,000? Like this, something, what I'm asking is, was last year this situation? Was last year, last administration, at the end of last year, was you at the same numbers you are now?
At the same numbers. As you know, we got that $120,000, September of last year?
But that was a one-time ordeal.
Fee, so it had to be added in. The only thing I can tell you, we don't do a 8 to 5. We may get a call to come out 6, 7 o'clock at night. Like I said, we did meet with them. We was not aware that, I guess it's on my fault, what our budget was. As you know, this is new to us also, sitting down, going over with the administration on the budget. So our thing is, we always come out. We work 2 hours over. Sometimes Kenny get calls on a Saturday, come out and serve somebody. So it's not that we work 8 to 5. We have to work when we have to go get them. So now when we work over, we're gonna offset it, either come in late or leave early.
But so now, when you come in outside of the 8 to 5, that's considered overtime?
Yes. If he get a call out, he comes out.
So take me back to before the $120,000 one-time payment. What was your budget at that moment? So that maybe that'll take you back into the 23, let's do the 23, 24, 22, 23 budget. Was you over budget then?
Never sat down with the administration on the budget.
Oh, so I got you, okay.
Yeah, this is our first time sitting down with administration on the budget.
Marcia, I have a question.
Councilman Tappan?
How much revenue is your office bringing in? And I know at one time we talked about you serving, I think, for the city, and you were only getting a percentage of whatever you were serving. Is that right? For the citations you were serving?
Yeah, we only get our income come in different. We get a certain percent from the city on the amount of tickets that's coming in.
Okay.
For this year, for the city, I say the city court is who subsidizes our. We got anywhere from 95, I think it's right at 9,500 for this year.
That's it?
That's it.
See, that's what I was gonna tell you.
That's
what
it.
they bring in, they cannot survive on.
Yeah,
Right now, they cannot survive on what they give in.
Operating for the city of Bastrop, bare minimum, and hadn't missed a beat. So when you look at our and what we operate on and what we do, oh yeah.
And I guess we just need to understand what all your office does. Because we don't really know.
We're like the arms of city court. If somebody filed paperwork in the city court, we actually go out and physically deliver the paperwork. We do citation, judgments, eviction, garnishment, property liens, and we serve subpoena for the city court. Summons, yeah.
So how many
Usually we used to do
average?
subpoenas for code enforcement too, but we no longer do those because we hadn't got any.
So how many do you do per month, an average?
Citation or subpoenas?
Both, all, just a total number of.
Off the top of my head, it's anywhere on the average of, the citation really has dropped within the last, since COVID, I'll put it like that. Anywhere from 65 to 150 citation. Now subpoena, totally different. I have to pull it through the court system and see.
I got a question.
Hold on, Councilman.
And I guess that's why it's kind of important that we know like the numbers y'all serve. A lot of places do like productivity standards. You know, it's kind of hard to measure, I guess, if we don't know exactly how many citations you're serving. And that means that you serving, Ms. Drina serving, and Kenny, all of y'all are serving?
No, Drina and Kenny, well, mostly Kenny. Drina do a lot of the maintenance in the office. When he's on vacation or when he's out, she'll go out. I only go out if both of them are out. So we have to keep the office open 8 to 5. I mean, the law requires it to be open. So somebody has to be in here at all times. So Kenny will be out next week. Drina will probably do half a day and or do at the afternoons, and I'll do 4 days.
Flexible. So,
So do the city pay 100% of your salary?
The city pay my salary.
Okay.
A set salary by the state at $9.45. Yeah.
yeah, that's bad. Point of information. Councilman, Jacob, point of information. Mr. Smith.
Yes, sir.
Looking at these numbers, you stated that on overtime, it was gonna be, they over $6,000 right now?
Yeah, I didn't say over, that's what they, overtime is, because you look at, and I'm sorry.
Yeah, okay, you said most of the excess was pertaining to overtime.
Correct.
And I'm asking you, how much you say the overtime was right now? Is it 6,000 something?
It's at, $5,700, right on the 6.
No, he said.
And then when you factor in, and then you have to factor in related benefits to that as well. So I just did an estimated 25% of that.
Okay, so, and let's say 10, just give them, and you got 4 months left, right?
Mhm.
You said that equated to most of the problem. But then when I look at the end, you projected them to be over close to 200,000. How's they going?
They're projected to be over around, you have to look at column, E.
What page?
G.
12.
So you look at City Marshall, currently their budget is $143,000, which at the end of the third quarter, they were at 85%. All right, based on their current projections with overtime and everything else, if they keep doing that, which they're not, because we talked to her and we suggested that she flex some of this time to alleviate overtime. But if they continue at this clip, they will exceed the budget by,
What page you on, Rick?
I'm on page 412. I'm looking at line 131. I'm looking at column E and G.
But then you gotta realize too, this is our first year being worked into the budget.
But that was gonna be my question.
Yes.
Are you aware of your budget? Were you aware of it?
No.
Okay, see, that adds up. If you're not aware of what you have to spend.
And it's only salaries.
Yeah.
So it's not that we're buying things or getting purchase order or anything like that. The city mostly just cover, well, mostly does cover the salaries.
I was still asking a point. We did.
Right, no.
She answered, but I was asking them a question.
Right, so the budget increase total is going to be about 46%, and that's close to, I'm trying to do my math in my head, probably less than a little over $60,000 increase.
Did you say 6 or 60?
60. If they continue on the trajectory for the next year.
They flex.
Which they're not.
Question for the marshal.
Yes, Councilman Doty.
Ms. Lisa, City Marshal, I'm sorry. Is your office under the auspices of the city?
Yes.
So all the functions you perform out of your office are under the umbrella of the city? And has the city always provided the budget for the marshal's office?
She's new to us.
No, again, when I say budget, whether it was on paper or not.
No, she was not part of us.
I see what he said.
So where was the money being paid out of then?
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Before, all right.
I get what you were saying.
Yeah.
Well, the city has always paid the salary.
Well, yeah.
Yes.
That's the operation. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so now that you're on paper with the budget, even with that, and I guess what I'm having trouble with is and again, I understand the overtime and, mission you guys perform and all of that as you stated. But, the $60,000, that's quite a bit. And we still have another quarter to go. And again, I understand about, you have talked to the mayor and all of that. So hoping that will come down, significantly, moving forward.
Well, right now, I see what you did.
Councilman Taylor?
Yeah, one question. I know you said sometimes they call Mr. Jones on the weekend. So is that something that has to be done on the weekend? Can y'all defer to the Monday? So it wouldn't be overtime?
Yeah, one paper came in February, the lady works offshore. If the plaintiff said, hold that paper until you serve it, she don't come in, every 6 to 8 weeks? She called him Saturday, about 3:30. I'm in town for the weekend. You either get me now or you'll miss me for another 6 to 8 weeks.
But but what she'll do is she'll fix it.
Yeah.
She was telling us that on Friday, they'll come in late on Friday and then they'll go out Saturday.
Yeah, okay. Now that we sat down and talked with them, we'll try to flex some of it, but if they call us, we have to go. I mean.
We looking at the numbers and stuff, but you have to realize she wasn't working with a budget in the past few years. So all of a sudden, she's over a budget that she hadn't seen before.
Yes. So this is new to us too. We never had to work within a budget or time of overtime. So all we know is that if the paperwork has to go out, we have to go out. It never was presented to us as going over budget or you have to stay within this.
Point of information,
Right now, she about 22,000.
Oh, and it's also a point of information to the budget, Mr. Budget, Mr. Smith Budget.
Mr. Budget?
Yeah. Mr. Budget man. So, sir, when you prepared this, you didn't give each department a copy of where their budget lies at?
What do you mean? When the budget
She said
was
she's
developed?
never seen a budget.
I never seen you all's budget or seen us.
No,
look at
I'm
you all's
talking
budget.
about when we looking at,
Okay,
I'm trying to.
no, I've never seen the city budget, nor went over the city budget, or knew where we fit in at the city
That's
budget.
what I'm.
It's never been.
He trying to help.
We got, she gonna straighten it out. She started already.
Yeah, we have flexed it. I mean, if they come in, Kenny got about 10 hours of overtime, so he will be leaving early or even coming in late. That's how we're gonna flex it, but he has to come out. We have to get him when they call.
I think Mr. Jones, Mr. Green had a good point. If you have an operating budget, there are supposed to be meetings set up with each department head to let you know what you have to operate for the year. You have to be told this.
Did you present a budget to the city? Because in order for you to budget on our end, you have to have a budget to look at.
I know it, but the administration or whoever
But listen, so prior,
prepares it and then gets with the department head.
but prior to this being as a separate entity, then do you have outside of you trying to factor in with the city, do you do your own budget?
Yes.
So by you doing your own budget, you have a copy broke down as well, right?
Yes.
So did you give that to the city?
No, we never have. We never have given a budget to the city.
Everybody doing their job.
Yeah, the two have to meet.
So okay, according to your budget, is you over budget?
No,
So how much you budget for?
we do not, it's, if I budget it and we go over, then we adjust.
Listen, I get what.
There's no set, wait, then I gotta budget in fuel.
Well, listen what I'm saying, listen.
Well, I don't budget in salary, I put it that way. I only budget in my salary. I don't budget in my employee's salary.
All of it go together.
Not through my audit, it don't. I don't budget in their salary.
Because we supposed to pay the other.
Trina and.
I get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
So I think going forward, we made a recommendation at our finance meeting. Since once we give you the numbers, and you look at them, we're gonna break it down like quarters. So therefore you'll see exactly where you're at. And everybody will try to we can work with the mayor, we'll try to hit some hard numbers, like hard cap for each quarter. And I think it'll be beneficial to everybody, but based on just what you've said here, you really like you're in the blind on the budget.
Yeah, well,
But I think that, I'm pretty sure they probably be close, because the only thing you're not doing that Ricky doing is he's adding in Drina and Kenny as well as the overtime, but you just doing only you. So if you was to, I guess if you was to factor in Kenny and Drina in your budget, you probably can see where we are. Likewise, vice versa.
Because the only thing Mr. Smith is factoring in is what the city, you factor in what the city portion of it, based on me and him. He just looking at what yeah, pretty much.
He doing everything. Yeah. She just doing her herself. That's what I'm saying. Ricky doing her, Drina, and Kenny, and their whole operation of their entity over there. So
seems like everybody needs to be on the same page.
That's why I say that you have to meet. Y'all have to.
Yeah, we talked, that's what we telling y'all. We done talked about it. We done figured it out. Now we just gotta. We just gotta put it.
Now I do have one question. I have one more question. So being that Ricky put in our system, so your funding that you receive, where do that go now?
my funding,
Like Mr. Angelo asked you how much you received, the $9,000. What do you do with that fund?
it's used for the operating of the office.
So then that should offset some of these when it's related to Ricky, right? Well, hold on.
It's used for our supplies, our fuel, our everyday operation of the office.
So what about the telephone use?
But the telephone system is through the city.
So
It's just
okay,
a normal telephone.
you're not paying a portion of it because you got a line item on here for telephone use for $2,400. So you don't pay none of the telephone use.
No.
So you win. Right there.
Now, I have my own personal cell phone that I pay from the funds that come, but the three telephone that's in the office is paid through the city.
Well, now I see that. Okay, I was asking. That's why I was asking what you do with your revenue you receive. What do you pay?
It's everyday operating of the city.
Okay, so yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
Like everybody else, like different departments. You got a telephone expense. Hey, so you know.
I don't know why it's 2,400 on telephone expense.
That's a good question. How do you rate it? I guess some of the phone calls you get. I don't know.
It all started with last, and she only received the budget last year. I remember specifically. They went in and they did a SWOT analysis of the department, talking about the city. So she is kind of new. She's kind of new to her. So last year, they came in, they computed all these different parameters, everything that goes on that they perceive the city should be paying for. This is how we get to this point that we're at today. So I think that going forward, probably the administration say they done worked it out. I think the first remedy would be letting us see actually what actually that's been budgeted, but I'm okay. It'll be rectified. I mean, we just gonna let it go. So we'll see towards the end of the year.
Did y'all have the same conversation with
Yes.
the guy at the airport?
Yes, that's why we gave him spending parameters on the problem areas. The one thing that he didn't have control over is those grant expenditures and those costs that came in after the fact. And the one thing that he did have that was a little running over budget was fuel. So in anticipation of this, I gave him a limit, so you can't spend over $18,000 the rest of the year. Because he purchased fuel 3 times a year, and he's getting ready to purchase the final one for the year. And when we had the meeting, I went through the budget, I said, okay, this is recommended change. Because he usually buy by the gallon, but I told him, you gotta spend less than 18 for the rest of it.
So those areas have been addressed.
Right, now moving forward, that's how we're gonna address things.
Now, the recommendation that Mr. Green made, does that need to be in this report?
What recommendation we got?
Hard caps.
Well, hard caps, I think, we're able
pick the
to.
numbers up first.
Yeah, we're able to do that when we do the mid-year budget, those adjustments together.
Yeah.
Because from an appropriation standpoint, I don't think that you can necessarily do that. No, I don't think you do that, period, because you do the initial appropriation. That's why it's important to get y'all involved in the process. So when you adopt the budget, you had some say into this development. So we can just monitor it every quarter and make adjustments the way we do it.
I just think when Mr. Locke was alluding to the fact, I think when I say it's 4 quarters.
Right.
Just forget about the quarters. Just think about what you budgeted at the end of the year, right? If you budget them 200,000, right? You break that up into quarters.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. If you break it up into quarters, it's like a pie. We used to look at a pie. They used to bring a pie around when I was up in Golden Course. You look at it, and Tim, no, they give you something. You look at your budget, and you see where you at. That's the only thing I'm saying. And if you get to a hard cap, and you know you got 4 quarters, you got to say, hey, hold up. I'm gonna be over this quarter. I better pull back.
Right.
Now, if he got to get a fire truck or something, then he know he gonna go way over. But he's smart enough to been doing it long enough to know that, hey, somewhere along the line, I got to draw the line. I'm gonna go over the line. So what I'm saying, it's not nothing that's, when I say a hard cap, I'm just talking about for the department head's sake. So you can start
benchmarks.
A benchmark,
Right.
hard cap, benchmark, same thing.
Same, well, I'm saying benchmark.
Because if you set a soft cap and it's the same thing, people just go over it. When I say hard cap, that means that, hey, a red line, you better not be crossing this red line, because if you continue to cross this red line, you're gonna cross the red line at the end of the line.
And what you're saying, I totally agree with it. I think that's what we're doing, because again, I alluded to and commended Chief Reed and Chief Williams.
I'm not talking about, I'm talking about.
That's what we're doing.
That's what I was talking about.
And the 2 problem areas has been illuminated why the problem is. This is a new thing with the marshal's office, and it's an anomaly with the airport. You set those 2 things aside. We talked about this budget for maybe 5 minutes and y'all passed, because y'all looking at the bottom line. Are we at 65%? Yes. We're at 64 point whatever it is.
Well, I just want to make clarity. When I was speaking about hard cap, I'm talking about each department.
Right.
I wasn't you just happen to be standing there. I'm talking about in general. But just like you said, Mr. Williams, he know where he is, right?
Chief Reed.
Mr. Chief Reed, he know where he is. Right. You get what I'm saying? So Chief Reed will know if you give him X amount of dollars, hey, you running pretty fast, you're gonna run out of breath. Better slow down.
Yeah. And we're doing it in other departments too. I'll give you another example. Ms. Cotton came and approached me as a clerk, and they had to replace some equipment at the municipal center. And she was like, okay, where we are on X amount, we pulled up the budget and said, okay, you right here. You need to make those purchases less than this amount. So we do that. We are doing exactly what you're saying.
But you doing it.
No.
Listen, you just said that she told me, and you look. I say the department heads need to have the same thing that you looking at, so they'll be able to manage their department efficiently. That's what I'm saying. They don't have to call you.
Right, and for the most part, that's what's happening. That's what's happening.
And then the mayor can continue to do what he's doing, and they won't have to call him all the time, because the department head actually be looking at it.
Right. I got it. Yes. Yeah, I totally agree with everything you're saying. And again,
anything else?
Is that it?
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Marshall.
All right, man, there's been a motion and a second. I don't know if there's any further discussion or councilman want to call for the question and ask for a roll call vote.
Roll call.
Ms. Tappan?
Yes.
Mr. Doty? Mr. James Green?
Yes.
Mr. Gary Green?
Yes.
Mr. Locke?
Yes.
Okay, we have all in favor, the motion carries.
And again, members, the sales tax budget we'll have to do separately. We have to do another agenda item in regards to that, because it has to be separate. We weren't able to put that on the budget, but you have that information, and we'll just resend that for next week to go over it as well. And hopefully we'll have a representative from the the engineer's office to be able to talk about those capital outlay projects that are in the street tax, sales tax budget. That's it.
We appreciate y'all.
And Mayor, before we go, just want to leave on a positive note. Just like we had a healthy debate, that's what it's all about. When before you vote, you have a debate, question and answers, pros and cons. That's what councilors do. We sit and we debate and we try to see which the best possible outcome. So, you know, just because we having a debate don't mean it's gonna be a failed resolution. It's just open transparency, and everybody got a right to object. Everybody, it don't matter. Everybody got a right because they serve their constituents, these districts. So I think it was a good, healthy debate, and at the end it passed, and it's all that matters.
Appreciate you. Y'all.
12.
All right, Mr. Lawyer, going. 12, planning and zoning business. Any new or unfinished planning and zoning matters, none to be discussed or acted upon. All right, we got 13, discuss items, there's nothing to be discussed. We got 14, agenda modification.
Before we go into
Modification on A, roll the taxes forward.
Remember, this is just a discussion. If I can ask Ms. Holmes to come down to the table to answer questions, but we had a timeline in order for the council to even consider moving forward, rolling forward the ad valorem taxes. It has to be done, the process from start to finish has to be done by January 1st, not January 1st, June 1st. So the purpose of the agenda tonight is just kind of hold the council to see, you know, their desire in regards to this issue. And Ms. Holmes has some of the logistical time frame in regards to how this process is going to move and the short time frame that we have.
Yes, so Mr. Smith pretty much said everything I came to say, so we're good. Essentially, you know, the last couple of years, 2024, 2025, this body has elected not to roll forward. Let me preface again before I move into anything. I apologize. I do not have any numbers for anybody right now. I did attend a workshop today from the Legislative Auditor's Office. My primary purpose for being here is to just sort of see where you all are on whether or not you're ready to attempt rolling forward or not. If not, this is a fairly simple process. We will need to adopt a resolution maybe sometime, well, at the next regular meeting. We could probably do it in June at the next, in May at the next regular meeting. And everything gets submitted to the assessor's office and we're good to go. However, if you are considering rolling forward, we do have several more steps that are gonna have to be followed. One, by putting in the paper that we are gonna attempt to roll forward. With that, there are deadlines, there are just procedures in place that we have to publish twice. The second publication being 30 days, a full 30 days before we attempt to even have the hearing and the vote. If we're off by anything, the legislative auditor is gonna see it and ship it back. And the reason why that's a problem, it's not a problem, except that they do have a June 1st deadline. I was reassured by members of the assessor's office that if we're a little bit behind, they can kind of work with it. But if we're like really bad off, we might get left out, or it's really gonna push the parish as a whole back on getting its documents turned into the state so that we can attempt to collect taxes this fall. So for my purposes today, it's just to see if you all want to go for it, and we can try to go for it. If we do, it's a very tight schedule, but because of the way our paper runs, our paper is once a week. If I'm lucky to get some information from the assessor's office in time to submit it to the paper, the earliest I could probably get the first one published is the 16th, the second being the 23rd, which means you can't meet before May 23rd, which is a Saturday anyway, you can't do it. So you're gonna be looking at that last week. Same thing if we do the first publication on the 23rd, the second being on the 30th. So you can't meet before maybe May 30th or something to that effect. But again, if we're a few days behind, they're willing to work with us. But like I said, it's a lot more to that. But that's the first crucial step. And so we just need to know that if we go through a whole lot of dotting I's and crossing T's from a staff standpoint, just so y'all can say, no, we don't want to do it. If that's going to be the case, let us know and we'll take the easy route. If y'all want to go for it, we can go for it. Now, they also said at the training today that if you still have this year and next year to roll forward before the next reassessment in 2028, if you do not choose to roll forward before the next reassessment, when you do get a chance to roll forward, you'll be rolling forward back from the before they reassessed last time, which means you're already working in a sense from a disadvantage from our 2023 numbers before they reassessed in the first place. So we just need to know what you'd like for us to do. It's a lot more work for us to do the roll forward, but we're ready to go if you want to do it. If you don't, then we'll do whatever. But the plan is to have something in May for sure.
Let me ask you, the public has an opportunity to view this. Do they vote on this or what?
No, this is rolling forward without the need for an election. What the council is doing is setting that rate to the highest possible rate without having to go back to the public to ask for more, because they already voted this in.
Okay.
Already back in.
So this
just never actually,
move on it.
This not a renewal.
No, these are numbers, like I said, I wish I had them in front of me. Yeah, this is something the voters already agreed to. And when we had maximum rates or whatever before, it was still within the parameter of what the voters agreed to. And so we're not going above what they said yes to.
I think we need to get some clarification, because this is the big problem that we have. We want some clarity when it comes to this, because I gotta make it clear. Because people don't think it's a new tax.
No, it's not.
So let's just walk through the steps. For the last couple of years, we didn't roll forward, we just stayed where we was at. But the voters have already approved it. So it's no new taxes, no nothing. It's already on the books. We as a city just decided that we was just gonna municipalities, at the current rate. We never did like most municipalities. They rolled it forward. Even some people inside the city, the parish and everybody, rolled forward. Except,
Yeah, I think the assessor told me today that I think Bastrop might be the only standout within the parish.
So we was the only one in the parish because we was looking at property taxes. But now, I just want to make it clear, we'll be we'll be neglectful if we don't roll it forward. It's already approved, just want some clarity, so won't nobody go
Crazy.
No.
talking about we passed new taxes, it's already been passed. We actually gave the citizens a break
For 2 years.
for 2 years. But we owe it to ourselves and the community to stay current, just like everybody else.
Yes.
So I would recommend that we get on the ball.
This is mostly about just the revenue, what you hope to bring in. We already know everybody's not gonna pay. Everybody's not gonna pay on time. Everyone is a case-by-case situation. But you hope to be able to collect this amount. And so with the fluctuations with property values and other things, these little adjustments that we're making in the millage rates is just helping the city to try to collect the same amount of funds each year, rather than, again, I apologize, I don't have numbers, but I think our numbers did go down from what we had the ability to collect from before, because we did not roll forward with everything else.
Okay. Appreciate it, Ms. Holmes.
We're ready.
I feel like they ready to move forward.
We won't need to vote on this one.
No, we just trying to see, I heard 3 people say they ready, so
Ready.
we good.
Yeah.
This is a discussion. So-
So when we gonna vote to move forward, roll it?
Well, like Ms. Holmes said, we're gonna reach out to the legislative auditor tomorrow and get that language for the publication. And I think the official journal told us noon Monday is the deadline to publish weekly. So hopefully we get that to them as soon as probably Friday.
I'm trying for
Friday. So it'll be published Thursday, so it starts the ball rolling Thursday. And then from that following week, we got to publish it again for 30 days, and then we set a hearing for the public, just like we did on the annexation. And then, you know, there's meeting to vote to roll forward or not.
Mr. Chairman, can I make a motion to suspend Robert Rules of Order? Because I need to ask another vital question about what we just passed a few seconds ago. So it just don't.
Yes, go ahead.
Make a motion to suspend Robert Rules of Order.
Is there a second?
Second motion.
All right, it's been properly moved second. Any further discussion? If not, maybe you second for a vote.
We get a vote, Ms. Holmes?
Ms. Tappan?
Yes.
Mr. Doty?
Yes.
Mr. James Green?
Yes.
Mr. Gary Green?
Yes.
Mr. Locke?
Yes.
Okay, when we made a motion to adopt a resolution amending the operating budget, right?
Mhm.
So I want to make sure that we in compliance. So are we making a motion to adopt it? Or are we making a motion to have it? Because if it's got to be put in the paper for 15 days, right?
No, you're not appropriating any money because we still operating on 14.3. Right, so if, let's say we roll forward and we got new projections to where we generate another, let's say $1 million. In order to spend that, we have to reappropriate that, go through the same process. We still dealing with the same $14.3 million. So we just making adjustments so we stay within that, make sure we stay within that 5% variance. So we don't get out at the end of the year to where now some of the same concerns that you're having. If we had done this budget review for the first time in June, we'd be in trouble. So we're not expanding past that 5%. Because if we collect, let's say in sales tax, it had been projected to be at third quarter, we had 95%. We're gonna collect way more in sales tax than we did budget. So that probably would have put it over 5%, and we'd have had to go through if we wanted to spend it this year, we had to go through that where we had to advertise and things like that. That's that variance you have to be in my interpretation. But as like I said the last time, I think Mr. Doty, you asked this question. We can do it every time we do it. You just spend the money and advertise it, and we can just do it.
So
if we want to treat every amendment,
it's an ordinance.
No, the way the city's been done is by
Resolution, I'm saying, that's what I'm asking, is the orders, are you doing about orders or resolution? You doing about resolution?
Yeah,
right?
resolution.
Okay, just want to be clear, right, so we won't be compliant, so we're doing about resolution, okay, I just want.
But again, Mr. Green, if that's something that.
No, I'm just want to make sure that, that's on the record, that's your question.
Okay, Councilman Dolan?
Quick question, Mrs. Smith. What is the actual threshold that you have to meet or go over? for
5%. That 5% variance is that anytime, because you get a finding and we get findings.
No, my question is to make sure, what is the threshold that we have to need to go over for you to have, for us to have to publicize it?
It's a 5% variance. Just like I said, if we collecting,
So take it overall.
yeah, so if we increase the budget, I don't know, what's 5% of 14.6?
See, I just want that.
So do 5%.
10% is 1,400, so 10% is that, what, 140 times 5, that's 700.
Yeah, so we got an extra $700,000 to appropriate. We definitely have to go through typical ordinary appropriation.
Right.
That's just what that was a question that wasn't asked, I just thought, but I didn't look at it. I just want to make sure that we don't get it. So that's, we're moving forward now, we're good.
All right,
14B.
we got, is this 14B? Well, I'm skip over.
I want that let you do that outside of this.
14B, is CEA 3.
Yeah.
Jefferson Avenue.
Yeah, I was hoping that the young ladies that was here from, I know Dota, you might talk to them. Hoping the young ladies here from, they were speaking about the historical district, because this house that's, this young lady looking to tear down, it's right around the corner from Main Madness. Yeah, so if I clean up the area, it would be a nice thing to do. And so the guy that only chose the young lady, 3,500. And so we're gonna go for my line item in District D, go half for it, and he will have it done, he will have it completely done in 2 weeks.
Are we?
So we don't have to,
Yeah, we had the vote.
so,
Hold
no, but so we
Okay.
won't have to pass the Capella test and all that? Remember?
Well, see, that's, the difference is we going from when I was informed that the owner is getting someone to do the work. I'm just assisting from my district.
I know, but still, we gotta see the CEA, right? We actually, so what you doing now, making a proposal that we?
No, I was told that this is gonna be the CEA, so when Devin comes.
Last time we did a blind CEA, everybody.
No, I was going to jail.
We're not doing a blind CEA.
I was going to jail, so they're not.
I'm just saying, I'm not writing up the CEA. It's the attorney writing up the CEA.
Devin writes it up.
Yes.
And then get us to sign.
So you said, what you guys saying is?
If not, we can approve it.
Then you get approved.
Yes.
If we approve it, we can go ahead and do the work.
Right, and that, I think that's, I understand, that's what I thought.
But still, you will be approved the CEA you haven't seen.
But that's what I'm saying. We need some paperwork for us to sign it. Yeah. But you can still,
That's why I asked you for the particulars, because you're gonna have to be held to those particulars and then to go outside.
Yeah, it's necessary, it's going outside.
I think he can present it now, and then you'll have it when we come back, we just vote it to get it done. You trying to get it done before?
I'm trying to get it done before
Well, you might have to call a special meeting, 'cause we don't see no paper. We do a special meeting.
That was my chess moves. I'm hoping you guys say that so I can do the special call. Yeah.
Come back.
As long as you guys come back. So I had to play a little chess, so if I presented it, you guys took me.
So you thought we was gonna sign something we hadn't seen?
I thought y'all take my word.
You consistency.
What? Hey,
So I
sorry,
get,
we don't see it, we can't vote on it.
So ma'am, I think she got a motion to the table.
I make a motion to table
to either the next meeting or a special call meeting.
Special call meeting.
Is there a second?
I second.
Councilman Dolan second. Any introduction or argument?
Call for a vote, ma'am, on that motion to table.
Who get a motion?
Councilman Green made the motion to table, second by Mr. Doty.
Jay Green table.
So can y'all put Tuesday on your schedule?
Yes.
Yeah, Tuesday.
Mr. Doty,
Yes.
Yes.
Mr. James Green,
Yes.
Mr. Derry Green.
No.
No.
I'm still trying to get it done.
Mr. Locke.
Y'all still going, yes, it's gonna pass, like, but I don't wanna support you guys taking on my
How you
team.
vote, Mr. I mean, Mr.
Yes.
You heard that? All right.
We have 4 in favor, 1 opposed, the motion carries to table.
International ordinance introduced by title, no action required.
Mr. Mayor, may I?
Yeah, go ahead.
I apologize, meant to do this earlier because, I had my, niece here from Atlanta, Georgia, Ms. Jennifer, Robinson Newton.
Stand up for us.
If you will, just stand and let everybody see you. That's Ms. Jennifer and her son.
Hey, niece.
Hey, man.
They are bringing a program, here to Bastrop, this year. It's called Increase the Peace.
No.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. It's called Increase the Peace. And it's centered around mostly, more so youth involvement. The same programs that we have going on here around the city to get youth involved in certain type of activities and programs away from the guns, the violence, and all that stuff. So, this is something, this makes the 3rd year she's doing it, and she's decided to bring it here to Bastrop this year. So, I think it will be in,
July 11th as well. The main event is Sunday. Volleyball is the 11th.
July the 11th and the 12th. And so, you guys will be, I will be giving more information on that. So again, I look forward to maybe some of you guys, being able to participate.
I wanna play.
All right, 16 adjourned. Can I get a motion?
I make a motion.
Second?
Second.
All in favor? Any opposed?
No.